Warm greetings from the high 10, 7-day shenanigans. This is Thro'Down Thursday, where I bring you various topics that is in the news. Breaking news. A lot of breaking news. This will probably be a very winded live, so pray for me because I'm very tired. But I wanted to get all these stories out because the latest story out of Savannah keeps me from talking about other stories. And I don't want to keep doing various lives during the day and evening. So this, if you can bear with me, there will be probably 5-6 topics in this one. Baby Q will be the last because that one's the most winded with information. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, I want to talk about Mr. Kanye West briefly. There'll be extra stories. There'll be Kanye West. There'll be Boswell, Herschel Walker. Those are stories that are not in the title. But it's Thro'Down, so we're going to roll with it. Here we go. Entertainment news is the source.
George Floyd is gearing up to sue Kanye West. A press release obtained by E! News on October 18th reads, Roxy Washington, acting on behalf of her minor child, the sole beneficiary of George Floyd's estate, has exclusively retained the Witherspoon Law Group and Dixon & Dixon attorneys at law to file a lawsuit against Ye West, also known as Kanye West, his business partners and associates for harassment, misappropriation, defamation, and infliction of emotional distress, seeking $250 million in damages. It continues, attorneys for the family of George Floyd have issued a cease and desist letter to Kanye West for his comments about the man whose 2020 death at the hands of Minneapolis police sparked a worldwide outcry against police brutality. During a recent interview on the podcast Drink Champs, which has since been removed from Revolt TV's YouTube channel, Kanye falsely claimed that George Floyd wasn't actually murdered by convicted former police officer Derek Chauvin, but instead died from fentanyl. The press release continues, George Floyd's daughter is being re-traumatized by Kanye West's comments, and he's creating an unsafe and unhealthy environment for her. Kanye's comments are a repugnant attempt to discount George Floyd's life and to profit from his inhumane death. We will hold Mr. West accountable for his flagrant remarks against Mr. Floyd's legacy. E! News has reached out to the lawyers representing Floyd's family and has not heard back. Meanwhile, attorney Alex Spiro, who the cease and desist letter is addressed to, tells E! News that he is not representing Kanye in this matter.
E! News is the source. First story for the evening. Kanye, yay, what's your problem? The man died a horrific death, deemed a murder. Chauvin is now in prison. Other officers also given time. You talk too much. I don't know what your problem is. This bullshit you got going on with that damn Kardashian chick. Ever since then, it's just been nonstop. Your mouth. You always got something to say. Between you and 50 Cent, I don't know who's worse. I'm just going to keep it real. I don't think you like being black. Because there was some commentary out of your mouth about slavery. And we were the cause of slavery. I may not be wording it perfectly, but that's the notion that some of us got, that we should have what? We should have what back then? Our ancestors, they should have done what exactly? They should have what? Fled. They should have ran. They should have killed the master. And then how would they have been able to get off the property to freedom, considering they were slaves and weren't supposed to be roaming about? You didn't think, the white people would find out that the slaves were roaming around trying to get to freedom from their slave master, when we already know that there are more white people in America than there are black people, same as it would have been then. You talk too damn much. You have nothing to say about George Floyd. You didn't know him. And whether he had fentanyl in his system or not, it's neither here nor there. He was walking around living and breathing before he walked into that store 2 times and before he crossed the paths with Derek Chauvin. So therefore, fentanyl, heroin, crack, cocaine, meth, pills, whatever the hell he was on was his damn business. The point is, he was alive and functioning before he crossed paths with that store and Chauvin and those other officers. And in his own camera, a man kneeling on his neck, Chauvin. So fentanyl doesn't have anything to do with it. He would have died no matter if he was on fentanyl or not. You're cutting off someone's airway. And it's sad that somebody would even have to explain this to you, a bobblehead. And it's even more shameful that you're an African-American male from the Chi, where I'm from, and you talk so ugly about your own ancestors, your own race, and then a black man who was killed by a police officer on a cell phone. You need to get a grip. I know what the hell your problem is, but you've been on one ever since your mother passed away. You talk crazy, act fucking crazy. You don't know how to talk. Always got something derogatory to say about your own race, black people. We're all jacked up. How about that? We're all jacked up. Black, white, Mexican, Jew, Arab, I don't give a damn. Gay, transgender, bisexual, new sexual, old sexual. We're all jacked up. On to my next story, because I'm not wasting no breath on that food. All right, everybody. Bringing you back-to-back stories that's in the news. Let's go ahead and talk about Herschel Walker. Lord have mercy, what a mess. He's now decided to say that he did write that ex-girlfriend a check, but he didn't know what it was for. NBC News is the source. It was uploaded 2 days ago. Let's see.
Where Republican Herschel Walker is focusing on soaring inflation to unseat Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock.
President Biden just said inflation is going to get worse if Republicans are elected. What is your reaction, and what specifically will you do to lower prices?
Well, first of all, the reaction is inflation's gotten worse since they've been in office. And what will I do first? You want to get our energy independence back.
That really is a long-term solution. What are you going to do in the short term?
It's a long-term solution because they made it a long-term, because they waged war on it. Well, right now, we got to stop the reckless spending.
But recently, his campaign has been rocked by an ex-girlfriend's allegation that Walker, who opposes abortion in most cases, paid for her abortion more than a decade ago.
Have you reached out to her?
I don't need to reach out to her because, first of all, that's what the left want to talk about.
I don't need to
they want
reach
to
out
talk
to
about
her.
everything else except the gas prices, except the grocery prices. I'm saying I've already dealt with that. That is a lie.
I don't need to
NBC
reach
News
out
has
to
now
her.
spoken to that former girlfriend, a registered Democrat who provided what she says is a copy of a $700 check Walker gave her to pay for the abortion, and a receipt dated just days earlier and in a different amount from a women's clinic. NBC News is not revealing the woman's identity nor the documents at her request for privacy. We showed the copy of the check to Walker, who said definitively for the first time the check is his,
Yes, that's my check.
though saying it was not for an abortion.
Do you know what the $700 went toward?
Oh, I have no idea. You have no idea. You know how many checks I've written in my lifetime for people.
Why should voters believe you in this?
Voters should
Your
believe
word.
me because I've been very transparent about everything I've ever done.
We also delved into that moment during Friday's debate,
I've never pretended to be a police officer.
when Walker pulled out what appeared to be a badge.
You know what's so funny? I am with many police officers.
He still had the badge
Being
with
smart
him.
ass.
Where's this one from?
This is from my hometown. This is from Johnson County, from the sheriff of Johnson County, which is a legit badge.
The Johnson County sheriff, who has endorsed Walker, confirmed Walker's account to NBC News, saying the honorary badge allows him to offer community support in a crisis. And we pressed Walker,
Yes.
can he work with Democrats?
Can you name one thing that President Biden has done that you support?
One thing that he's done that I support. He eat a lot of ice cream.
You know what?
Think about it. Is there
geez.
one thing?
That's going to be a while. Well, I agree with one thing, but he didn't do it. When he said he'll be a unifier, he wasn't that. He called the opposite side names.
We met up with Walker in his hometown and walked on the field that bears his name.
Well, it always feels good to come back home.
And he weighed in on former President Obama's expected visit to Georgia next week.
Do you worry about the impact he's going to have on
No,
this race?
bring President Obama, bring Senator Warnock, I'll fight both of them. And what I mean by that, I'm going to beat both of them.
Fascinating interview, Kristen. You also asked Walker about former President Trump, who has campaigned with him.
Lester, that's right. And Walker said former President Trump called to congratulate him on the debate and said he's confident Mr. Trump would campaign for him again if needed. We should note Senator Warnock declined our request for an interview.
All right, everybody. NBC News is the source. I'm going to read you a little bit about Herschel Walker and this debacle with this check. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Black folks Y'all just, y'all can't sit down. It's white folk, black folk. We just take turns because we don't got nothing to do. Thank you for joining me, everybody. 10 minutes into this live. This is a Throwdown Thursday where we talk about everything. I mesh all different subject matters into this live. Baby Q's subject matter will be the last because it is the most winded and most proficient and most dramatized. I'll drop the link. It'll be a while, so if you want to check back when I talk about that, because I know most of you really want to talk about that subject, but I want to talk about other stories because I'm behind on the stories I've been meaning to bring to you a week ago. All right, let me find this mess about Herschel Walker so you all can get an understanding what the hell is going on. Is he telling the truth? Did he know what the check was for? Well, we now have information that it is not the same amount versus what happened at the clinic. So therefore, the $700 could be for anything. He was dating her. Does it matter? Do you understand what I'm saying? And the fact that he wants to fight Mr. Obama, well, you can't fight Mr. Obama, baby, because one thing, Mr. Obama ain't running for nothing. Ting! So therefore, he ain't in the same category as you. Watch what you say now. Ding! I said that. CNN is the source pertaining to Mr. Walker. Let me put my bifocals on. Lord. When I talk about that other drama, I don't need no glasses because I'm just, ooh, somebody help me. All right, everybody. CNN Politics is the source. Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker defended pulling out a sheriff's badge during Friday's closely watched debate in Georgia, telling NBC in an interview that aired. Okay, now he wants to jump off. Okay, now really? Now this is doing too much. Telling NBC in an interview it was legit, but honorary badge from his hometown sheriff's department. Walker had pulled out the badge during a discussion of support for police. That in a move was admonished by debate moderators and led to widespread mockery from Democrats. Once again, as he said, this is my hometown. This is from Johnson County, from the sheriff of Johnson County, which is a legit badge, he told Quentin Walker of NBC. A CNN fact check found Walker has never had a job in law enforcement. He has publicized a card showing that he was at some point after 2004 named an honorary agent and special deputy sheriff in Cobb County, Georgia, titles that do not confer arrest authority. But as he told you here, or what was said about that badge, he can officiate to some capacity in case of a crisis. The contest between Walker and Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is one of the most important Senate races in the country, representing a key state. Democrats must hold to have a chance to keep control of the Senate next year. The race has recently been rocked by allegations that Walker paid for a woman's abortion and encouraged her to have another one. Allegations. The Republican has repeatedly denied and that CNN has not independently confirmed. A survey released earlier this month, which was conducted after the allegations emerged, found Warnock with 52% support among likely voters to 45% for Walker, about the same as in a mid-September poll. So let's see. What else we're talking about? Walker accused Warnock in that debate of calling officers names and caused morale to plummet. But the Democrat cited a false claim from Walker that he had previously served in law enforcement. So obviously they're going back and forth. And what I want to find was information about the abortion. I don't think this is the article that I was looking for. Basically, that's what this is talking about, the honorary badge. Everyone can make fun, Walker said in the NBC interview, arguing that the badge means he has the right to work with the police getting things done. I'm trying to find something else. I thought that was something more about that, the money for the abortion. That's what I was looking for. Sorry about that. So he's now admitting. Okay, CBS. Okay, here's another one. I think this might be the one. Hold on one second. Thank you all for joining me. Okay. Here it is. Herschel Walker. This is by Axios. The Republican nominee in the Georgia Senate race said in a new interview with NBC News that he did not know about an ex-girlfriend's alleged abortion until a reporter asked him about it. Walker, who says he opposes abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the mother's life, previously denied allegations that he paid for a former girlfriend's abortion, Axios reported. He did not know about the alleged abortion until he was asked about it by a reporter. I'm not saying she did or didn't have one. I'm saying I don't know anything about that. I don't know, Walker said, according to NBC News. Walker's campaign did not immediately respond to Axios' request for comment. Walker told NBC News he and his wife found out about the alleged abortion for the first time through text messages. The text messages were allegedly exchanged late last week between Walker's wife, Julie Walker, and the woman who was not named, according to NBC News. Walker's campaign provided the text to NBC News. Axios was unable to independently verify the text messages. Let me go back to that. So there was an exchange of messages between Mrs. Walker and the woman. Why is your wife talking to her? Who got whose telephone number to be talking? So how did the woman get the wife's phone number? Let's go there. Or did Mr. Walker still have the ex-girlfriend's number? And she was texting Mr. Walker about something, perhaps this news story. But yet she cried she wants privacy. Well, how are you going to have privacy if you're discussing the matter? This makes no logical sense. You can't say, well, I want privacy. I don't want my name mentioned. But yet you're giving documentation to people to show that he wrote you a check. And also they found out that the procedure obviously cost more than possibly $700. Or was it less? I don't want to quote something that's not true. So which is it? You got a $300 abortion or a $500 abortion and kept the change from the $700 check, but yet you want privacy. Well, how did the news get a hold of the check? Because you had them shown it. People don't have access to your bank records. So what are you going to tell us? Somebody hacked into your account and put two and two together that, oh, this $700 check from 10, 11 years ago was for an abortion. This is stupid. Walker's campaign provided the text to NBC News. Axios was unable to independently verify the text messages. Right. More reports emerged Friday from the New York Times and Daily Beast that include details of Walker's family drama, including his relationships with former romantic partners and children. Axios was unable to independently verify the claims. These reports follow days of harsh criticism from his son, Christian Walker, who posted a series of tweets about his father and the relationship. Oh, Lord. Now, he's still getting support from other politicians. Mr. Don Bacon, who's a Republican of Nebraska. And he basically said, we all make mistakes. Trying to see if there's any more information. I'm going to stop there. Or maybe I shouldn't. Because there's more. Thank you all so much for joining me. The next set of information comes from the New York Times that he urged the same woman to have a second abortion. So let's see what they're saying there. A woman who said Herschel Walker. Oh, Lord. Now they don't want me to read anything else. This is what happens when I talk about these stories. New York Post is very funny about you reading their content. Hold on, let me see if I can find out. Let's say it said for the first time Friday, the identity of the woman who has claimed he paid for her abortion 13 years ago when she leveled the allegation in a text message to his wife. In a brief interview with NBC News, Walker said this was also the first time the woman, who is the mother of one of his 4 children, mentioned to him or his wife that she had an abortion. Did you know Herschel paid for my abortion for the first time, or that he told me it wasn't the right time to have her current child? The woman wrote in a 9:54 a.m. text message sent Friday to Herschel Walker's wife, Julie Walker, who initiated the conversation. So obviously his wife initiated the conversation. That is what this article is saying, if you believe it, NBCnews.com. So, ma'am, I'm going to ask you, why would you be wanting to talk to her about what exactly? Because are you going to believe what she's saying or no? I'm confused. This is weird. thing keeps jumping. Hold on. It says, in response, Julie Walker acknowledged that she had tried to be a mediator between Herschel and the woman who seldom corresponded directly with her son's father. So now we have it. Here's a child with her. So naturally they're going to talk. So why does this abortion come up? I don't understand. Who put the story out that he paid for an abortion in the first place? This is what I don't understand. Because this is what the girl is saying to the wife in the text. Did you know that he paid for an abortion? He paid for my abortion the first time, or that he told me it wasn't the right time to have the current child. That was sent at 9:54 a.m. to a Julie Walker, the wife. In response, Julie acknowledged that she had tried to be a mediator between the two, who seldom corresponded directly with her son's father. Between Herschel Walker and a woman who seldom corresponded directly with her son's father. Why is that? This message makes me incredibly sad. You know, I have continually tried to bridge a better relationship between you and Herschel, putting the child first, Julie Walker wrote to the woman, who did not return messages to NBC News requesting comment. The Walker campaign provided copies of the text message exchanged to NBC News hours before the New York Times published an interview with the woman, who alleged that Walker had paid for the 2009 abortion and tried to pressure her to abort their young son. NBC News is withholding the woman's child's names to protect their identities. These are the text messages. Very strange. I just want to know, why would she mention anything about an abortion? I don't understand. The first I knew about any of this was when a reporter asked me about it. And I'm like, no, that's a lie. And then I was asked if I paid for an abortion. I said, no, I did not pay for an abortion, said Herschel Walker. I'm not saying she did or didn't. As I told you before, I don't know anything about it. I don't know. Herschel Walker, who often limits interviews to conservative news outlets, added that I have nothing to hide. That's why I'm talking to you. The messages his campaign provided between the woman and Julie Walker dated back to May 2022. The messages provide a raw glimpse into the corrosive effects of a political campaign on a family whose relationships became increasingly tense as details about the former football star's personal life were reported, from the 4 children he had with 4 different women to violent episodes in his past. The woman's claim, first reported Monday by the Daily Beast, rocked Walker's campaign and left top Republicans wondering if he could survive the allegation, which called into question the conservative credentials of a candidate who maintains he's devoutly anti-abortion. His oldest son went to social media, Christian Walker, then denounced his father as a liar, hypocrite, criticizing him for having multiple children. Earlier in the campaign, Christian Walker appeared to support his father and joined him during at least one event. So the son that went off, Christian, he's his eldest child. So how old is he? According to the text messages, the woman also expressed early support for Herschel Walker's campaign, especially in the run-up to the May 24th GOP primary when Walker first began running as an anti-abortion conservative. He'll do great and you'll keep him focused. Proud of you guys, the woman wrote to Julie Walker on the day of the primary election, wishing nothing but the best for you tonight. The night after Herschel Walker's win, the woman texted again, congratulations. What the hell is going on? The messages between the 2 women, which were peppered with friendly chatter about the boys' overnight camp or waning interest in Pokemon, grew increasingly tense as the woman began fielding calls from reporters about Herschel Walker's children with different women. After the primary, the woman warned Julie Walker that she had been contacted by a reporter and asked Julie Walker if she should tell the press that the candidate complies 100% with the child support agreement. What? The woman warned Julie that she had been contacted by a reporter and asked Julie Walker if she should tell the press that the candidate complies. Days later, on June 15, Julie Walker shared a series of suggestions with the woman about how she could respond to the press inquiries. Those messages came a day after the Daily Beast published a story about one of Herschel Walker's previously publicly unacknowledged children. Oh, this goes on and on. The woman replied on July 7 when she asked, any more surprises we should know about? It appears to be a veiled reference to two Daily Beast articles reporting that Walker had two additional previously publicly unacknowledged children and that he had lied to campaign staff about it. In a statement to the Daily Beast in response to the report about the additional children, Walker said, I have 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter. They're not undisclosed. They're my kids. He added that he had simply chosen not to use them as props to win a political campaign. He said, what parent would want their child involved in garbage, gutter politics like this? Walker's campaign declined to comment to the Daily Beast on the report about lying to his staff, and his campaign manager criticized the report as pure gossip. In the Friday text message exchanges between the two, the woman explained that she did not know about another Walker's children, saying that the boy was a surprise to us all in the rest of the family. Julie Walker said in an interview that the paternity stories about Walker's pitted people against each other in the family. The woman showed to the New York Times and the Daily Beast a copy of a $575 receipt from an Atlanta abortion clinic that she said was given to her after a 2009 procedure. So wait a minute. And she showed the outlets a copy of a $700 check that she said was a reimbursement check from Walker. This is crazy. In addition, she provided the outlets a copy of a get well card bearing a handwritten message signed H along with the message, pray you are feeling better. See, this girl has to be the one that done this. This is stupid to me. Why were you telling people that he paid for an abortion or that you asked for money for an abortion? I don't understand. 1 minute you're congratulating the lady and sending messages to her about the campaign, and then somebody out of the blue comes and starts asking you about how does he feel about abortion, which I don't know how the fuck they're coming to you asking you anything, a reporter, and you stupidly show the news copies of a receipt. This is what it says. The woman showed the New York Times and the Daily Beast a copy of a $575 receipt from an Atlanta abortion clinic that she was given to her after a 2009 procedure, and she showed the outlets a copy of a $700 check. Well, that means you wanted to tell the world that he paid for an abortion. So what, you changed your mind and said, well, he's really not a conservative. He's really not pro-family because I had 2 abortions, 1 or 2 or however many. Man, this is ridiculous. Oh. So on that card, he says, pray you're feeling better. Both outlets reported they corroborated details of the woman's abortion accusation with a close friend who supported and consoled her during both pregnancies and after her first abortion. Walker told News NBC he doesn't remember sending the card or the check. I don't remember any card or check or anything, but I was dating her. I could have sent some money. I could have sent a card, but not for the reason she's saying, he said. Now, naturally, the content I just played you, he acknowledges that check is a check he sent, but he didn't know it was for an abortion. You be the judge. New York Times also interviewed a friend of the woman who said she took care of her after her 2009 abortion and then supported her through her pregnancy 2 years later. The woman said that Walker wanted her to abort the child she ultimately kept. The Times reported, which Walker also denied. Walker's profession of strict anti-abortion views were too much for the mother involved in the text exchange to bear. She told the New York Times saying that she's a Democrat and that the fact that I had a choice, now he's in the public trying to say he wants to put a ban on abortion completely, it appalled me. Now it's starting to make sense. But Walker said the woman knew I'm a Christian while also acknowledging the long-standing tensions between them. She has been angry at me for years and it's very difficult. She's a big advocate for abortion rights. She said that, he said. Julie Walker didn't question the woman's motives and instead said that I'm sad. I'm taken totally back. I want Herschel to have a relationship with his kid, and now this is just tough. I'm dizzy from reading all that. This was uploaded the 7th of October. A little late on the information because all this other hee-haw drama keeps me from bringing my other stories. You shouldn't have said anything. You're sitting up here talking about privacy, and you show a check to the fucking news outlets, reporter, paper, newspaper. Then you go muster up some receipt from the abortion clinic. What the hell is wrong with you? Even if you found out he's pro-life, or he says it, let's say, and you don't believe it, you could have just called him directly and said, hey, I want to talk to you. I hear that you're pro-life, but you weren't pro-life years ago when you wanted me to have an abortion. What's going on with you? When did you change your mind? And then wait for a response. But you shouldn't have taken this information to these people because somebody think I'm saying I'm a hypocrite or he's a hypocrite. My thing is some things that just shouldn't be out here. Now, some of you may say, well, Angela, he's a hypocrite if he does say he's pro-life and he paid for abortions. But that's the whole point of this story. You got to prove she told him she was pregnant 2 times. He paid for one, asked for her to get one the second time, and she didn't. You got to prove it. Lord, here comes this mess. You got to prove she had an abortion. You got to prove that the abortion was paid for by Herschel Walker and that he had knowledge. So he has now acknowledged the check, but saying he doesn't know what it's for. He writes lots of checks and he can't remember. He couldn't remember at first the check and the card, but now he looks at the check and said, yeah, I sent the check, but I don't know that it was for an abortion. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's story number 2, everybody. Next story. 78 viewing. Lord Jesus. I'm trying to understand. I guess you could weigh it either way. He needs to be honest with the public because he's saying I'm for survival of life. But we already know that people are tainted. People do make mistakes. And maybe he just didn't want nobody to know that he paid for abortions. How about that? He didn't want anyone to know that he paid for abortions. Maybe at that time, he didn't mind her getting the abortions because he didn't want children. I don't know. Because I can't say I don't want to speak for this person. I don't want to just call him outright a liar. But it does look bad because people are going to say, well, you don't remember sending her $700 and it was for an abortion. But that's the whole point of that. You got to prove that he knew that's what the money was for. And if they're dating, he could give her money. She could have said, well, my mortgage is due, or I got to pay for a procedure, or I got medical expenses. My car is needing maintenance. I don't know. I think it's interesting that his wife is trying to be the go-between between he and this woman. So now one would wonder, are you the go-between this Miss Julie between him and other mothers? How many more children does he have that's underage? How old is this child that we're speaking of right now? 4 children. 1 woman he ain't talking to, except for through the wife, which I think is very noble of her. But I really wouldn't want to get involved in this. See, this is why you have to be very careful in meeting people and dating and then marriage. They have children drama, mama drama, daddy drama. You're a part of that because you're now in their life and you're married to them. Or be the same if you're dating them. And I can tell you the queen don't want no parts of none of that. I don't want to be a part of nobody's kid drama. I don't want to hear nothing about your kids' drama. I don't give a damn if they're underage, if they're grown. I don't want to hear you. Because it becomes daunting to hear people go on and on about their fucking kid problems. I'm going to say it, and some people don't like it. But, hey, it is what it is. That's why a lot of people don't want to date people with children. And we know that a lot of women have children. Maybe before God would have a child. And everybody deserves to mate, get a spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend. But these are the things that come along when people are not getting along and they're fussing and they're fighting. You looping the people that you're dating or married to into that drama. And maybe they didn't sign up for that. Because I can say I wouldn't want to be hearing this as a woman. I wouldn't want to hear it if I was a man. 2 parents can't talk and they got a child together. That's idiotic. You're not together. It's over with. Whatever happened is over with. You only need to speak about the child. Now, when a child is old enough to use a damn cell phone, then you give that child a phone and they call their parent to say, how you doing? Woo, woo. I need Snickers. I need sneakers. I need this. I need ice cream. I need a new suit. I need something to, new instrument, whatever the situation is. And if it can't be handled between the parent and that child, then maybe the other parent has to get on the phone and eventually hold a conversation. But this is why this is a turnoff. You know, imagine being this Julie person trying to be the bigger person since her man, Mr. Walker, can't hold a conversation with his own damn baby mama. And now they're going back and forth in text messages. And now this he said, she said about a damn abortion is in a text message. This ain't nothing to be texting about. You don't text serious stuff like this in a text message. See, this is what's wrong with a lot of you. You want to talk about the craziest stuff in a damn text message. Well, did you know that back in 1970, Herschel paid for me an abortion, and Pookie Ray Ray came from CNN and asked me, how do I feel about him and pro-rights and this and that? And I just went on and told him that, well, you know, I thought he liked children, but he wanted me to get an abortion. And I went on and got one the first time. But the second time I got knocked up 2 years later, I had that child. What? Is there anybody out there that don't want to use birth control or a condom? Herschel, I believe you're a little older. So about 11 years ago, you were still older. The fuck you want to be out here making children for? Matter of fact, let's do some Googling. Damn. How old is Herschel Walker? $60 years old. He turned 60 on March 3rd. Born in 1962. So that's my point. 10 years ago, you were 50, 49, whatever, going through this baby mama drama, girlfriend trauma. You should have wanted a child at 50 years old. Okay? Let's just keep it real. So, why are you not wearing a condom? You obviously still can produce sperm, working sperm. So why are you not using a condom, Herschel Walker? Can you still produce children, Herschel Walker? Julie, do you have any children by him? Do you want any children by him? Hell, how old are you? I'm dead. This is ridiculous. 50-year-old man out here sleeping with women and not using a condom. And then getting all these children by different women. He said here, 4 different women. So that means he didn't want a commitment. He didn't want a wife. He didn't want no damn kids, but they got here anyway because daddy didn't want to use a condom and the women didn't want to use birth control. And now we're arguing because he's running for the Senate as a Republican, as a conservative, and now his secrets came out. Christian, he's 23, the oldest. That's the one that was a walkie-talkie on the news. A bit feminine. I don't know what was going on with him, but anyway. Okay, I can't do this. I'm going to advise everybody in the gallery. You don't want no children, either 20 years old or 50. Please wear a condom or birth control. The health department has free birth control or it goes by your income. So therefore, you need some condoms, go to the health department. You're well endowed, you're going to have to go to the grocery store or your local Walmart to buy you some condoms. Okay? Say what? Oh, Lord, Cherie. Where is Herschel Walker from? Wrightsville, Georgia. Oh, Jesus. I can't with these people. All right, everybody, let's go to Megan Boswell. Lord have mercy. You can't make this stuff up. I brought you about Kanye West. Herschel Walker. Oh, now we're going to talk about Megan Boswell. This is a brief story about her. We're not going to be on her long. I'm already 40 minutes in. This was uploaded a day ago. WJHL is the source. Hanky panky with her lawyer. Lord have mercy. Teresa, be nice.
Breaking news at 5 o'clock. We have learned within the last hour to hour and a half from the Tennessee Supreme Court that Megan Boswell will be in Bluntville for a hearing Friday morning, and it's called a motion to withdraw hearing. What is that? The Tennessee Supreme Court has said that Boswell's defense attorney, Brad Sproles, has asked to be removed from the case, filing a motion to, in fact, be removed and appoint a new attorney. That hearing is set for Friday morning at 9. This comes after Boswell told the judge at her last hearing that they had, quote, differences regarding her defense. She asked that Sproles be replaced. Now, a judge at that hearing denied the request, saying it could delay the case even more. But again, now this is going back into court. And if the judge removes Sproles from the case Friday, it likely is going to have a big impact on the course of this trial, the ability to get it to trial quickly. Megan Boswell is accused of killing her daughter, Evelyn. Her remains were found on a family member's property in March 2020. She faces several charges, including 2 counts of felony murder right now. Megan Boswell is set to go on trial at the beginning of February next year. Look for coverage on Friday for News Channel 11 of that next court hearing.
All right. Poor Evelyn. WJHL is the source, everybody. Difference of representation. So let me guess, you don't like where he's taking your case, Megan? What's the problem? You did kill your baby. So you don't like what he's telling you to do as far as what? A plea agreement, perhaps? What are you trying to say? It was an accident. He's telling you, nah, they got too much evidence that shows murder, homicide. You better take a plea. But you don't want to do that because you want to lie and spend more lies than what you've already told the sheriff and probably TBI and whoever else. So what's the 411? Oh, it was an accident. We rode on top of the baby. She suffocated, and I got scared, and I put her in a bag and put her in that dollhouse, that playhouse. If you rolled over on your baby by mistake in your sleep, you or the baby, the boyfriend, because I already know that's a lie, you would call 911. My baby's not breathing. Please hurry, get here. End of story. And then you wait to see what the doctor will say with an autopsy and pray they don't charge you with accidentally killing your kid. But we know you got rid of that baby because you was chasing that boy around, and he possibly didn't want no girl with no baby. He's fooling with you anyway, but maybe he got tired of you. I don't know. Or you just a fucking wackadoo and want to get rid of your kid because you realized you were young, you wanted to live your life, and you didn't want to have no child. I don't know why the fuck you didn't let somebody else keep your kid anyway. That lady that took you in at the end before they arrested you, why you couldn't take your baby to her? Why you couldn't go to her and say, ma'am, I can't raise my kid. I'm not fit. I'm not ready. Could you help me out? How you know? You didn't even ask her. Hell, did you ask anybody for help? But you're like a lot of people. You don't want nobody to know you gave your child up. That's why people kill their kids. They don't want nobody to know they couldn't make it. They couldn't do it. So here goes the wackadoo stories. The baby fell out the crib. I rolled over on him. Pookie kidnapped him. Man, I'm sick of you dizzy ass people and these kids. You're another one that should have been on birth control. And to this day, we haven't heard nothing from the baby daddy. What's your malfunction? Yeah, I'm talking about you, baby daddy. What is your malfunction? Why have you yet to come forward to speak about this kid? Now I don't want to hear that bullshit about you in the military. You can't talk. I don't want to hear anything about it. Well, that's the whole point. Why didn't she go to somebody to say, I need help? We know her family was dysfunctional. Dysfunctional mother, drug addict mother, toxic father. So she didn't have her mother and father to go to. So yes, the baby daddy's family would have been a good solution. But we don't know because we don't really know anything about them. And he won't come forward to speak. He wouldn't even come forward to speak when all this shit jumped off. This is stupid to me. All these stories are stupid. Excuse me. I mean, every day is something. It just gets so old with these stories. Go on and on and on. Excuses. She's made up so many lies. The sheriff, I know he was like, who is this chick? Oh, he took him. Oh, the baby daddy came and got him. Oh, he kidnapped him. Oh, she's with my mama. Oh, we rolled over on her in her sleep. 12 different versions. That's why they know you killed her. And prayers for the 12 members of the jury. Y'all better get it right. Y'all better get that girl to the penitentiary. Because she killed that baby. And she hid that baby on her daddy's property and put that baby in that little playhouse. She did that. She did that. So I ain't about to sit here and believe it's an accident. Just like I ain't going to believe it's an accident with that baby down there in Savannah, Georgia. Baby Q. Ain't no accidents. Because a decent human is going to go call 911 if their baby's not breathing. All right. I brought you Kanye West running his mouth about George Floyd. The George Floyd family is suing for $250 million for defamation of character. Brought you information about Herschel Walker. Megan Boswell. That's 3. Who else I'm getting ready to talk about? I got crazy story out of Texas and Louisiana pertaining to 2 severely abused siblings. They're going to be next to last. Let's talk about Oklahoma. Woo, Lord have mercy. This is a doozy here too. Wow. I'm coming around that mountain.
Escaped from their mother, who is accused of handcuffing them and holding them captive in the laundry room.
Wait a minute.
I want to warn you, the following.
I don't want to do that one yet. Hold on. Sorry about that. That probably make some of you cry in the chat. So if you don't want to hear any disturbing news about abuse, child abuse, you might want to remove yourself. Because it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice at all. I'm trying to find this one about these. Oh, Lord have mercy. I want to talk about that lady that killed her landlord in Chicago. That's a week old, but that's crazy too. Like, what the hell is going on with everybody? Okay. I don't know why I can't find it. Well, I'll just go to my other source, pull it up. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $DeganG 129 Cash App. All stickers and chats are welcome during the live. Thank you. Here we go. Daily Mail. Whew, Lord have mercy. This is some bad business, you guys. Bad business. Coming out of Oklahoma. Try to get this device where it can show you everything. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Woo. Golly. It's a crazy world we're in. Don't show me the picture. That's our defendant. Now I'm going to show you the person that she murdered. 1 second. Oklahoma authorities have charged a mother over the fatal stabbing of her neighbor after their daughters were involved in a fight. Vanessa Wade, 29, was found by police in critical condition, having allegedly been knifed by Kayla Shanae McNeil. This is Kayla Shanae McNeil. This is the suspect who murdered her neighbor over some bullshit. I want everyone to listen to this story very carefully because there is a reason I'm bringing this story to you guys. This is because of how things can escalate when you approach people over he said, she said, such as that mess that's going on down there in Savannah, Georgia. Anything can jump off at the drop of a hat. She allegedly stabbed her neighbor across the street. Kayla Shanae McNeil, 31, is our suspect. Vanessa Wade was found by the police in critical condition. The women's daughters, who are cousins, aged 10 and 17, had got into a fight. When Wade went to check her mail, she was allegedly stabbed by McNeil. McNeil was immediately arrested and charged with first-degree murder with more charges pending, police said. The neighbor got stabbed after the daughters were involved in a fight. Vanessa Wade, 29, was found by police in critical condition, having allegedly been knifed by Kayla Shanae McNeil, 31. Wade was taken to the hospital but died a short time later. Deputies with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office responded to Wade's home in Spencer, northeast of Oklahoma City, on Thursday over reports of a stabbing. Investigators believe McNeil's 10-year-old daughter had been involved in a fight with Wade's 17-year-old daughter, who is actually her niece. Okay? McNeil is said to have intervened and ensured that both the girls returned to their homes. But Wade's daughter then called for help and got her mother to come home. This is the victim coming home to see what the hell was going on. Wade went across the street to check her mail when a fight broke out between the two mothers, at which point she was stabbed. Wade attempted to make it back inside her home but collapsed on the driveway. McNeil was immediately arrested and charged with first-degree murder with more charges pending. Once again, here are pictures of the victim. There are two stories, two different versions about what actually happened. That is the victim. She is no longer alive. Died at the hospital after the stabbing. Okay. McNeil is now refusing to cooperate with the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office. Wade's mother, Dolores Wade, is still in shock at the death of her daughter. She should be burying me one day, not me burying my baby. It shouldn't be like that, she told News 9. I got a phone call that my 12-year-old grandson called and said, my mama is dead. It's going to be a constant reminder every time he comes in and out of that house, he's going to see where his mother fell. She was so outgoing, outspoken, Wade said. She was just a beautiful person inside and out. I'm truly going to miss my baby. This is a picture of the home where the incident took place. This brutal stabbing. Well, there we go. Sorry about that. Kind of far from the street. But there are other pictures that show the house a little closer. An eyewitness who also lives in the street claims to have seen the fight unfold. This is another version. What was said by a child? She, Vanessa, didn't look like she wanted to fight. She just wanted to go in the house. Came out the house to check her mailbox. Dejana Smiley said the lady McNeil had come out and just punched her. Vanessa Wade tried to make it back across the street, but collapsed in the driveway. We walked down there and the little boy was screaming, "They killed my mama. She killed my mama," Smiley said. Once again, the suspect. A child is an eyewitness to this crime. A boy child and another neighbor. Hold on. That is our suspect. Let's get the version from the grandmother. She has another version pertaining to this wicked story. Isn't there always another version? What a mess. What a mess. Hope I can find it. News 9 is the source. Thank you all for joining me. "31-year-old Kayla Shanae McNeil stabbed her neighbor, Vanessa Wade, just before 4 p.m. Wade's mother said Wade's 12-year-old son watched his mom collapse, and the whole family will now be reminded of her death every time they look out the front door. Vanessa's mother, Dolores Wade, is still in disbelief her youngest child is gone. As I said before, she said she should be burying me, not me burying my baby. The little boy is the one that told the grandmother what happened. I got a phone call from my 12-year-old grandson. He said, Mama's dead. This fight allegedly is about a 10-year-old daughter, McNeil, who's the suspect, and the 17-year-old daughter of Vanessa, the victim. And they are also cousins. McNeil, the perpetrator, broke up the fight. And then Vanessa, the woman she killed, was called home by her 17-year-old where she was stabbed. But Mrs. Wade, the grandmother, has a different version of what allegedly happened. You're entitled to believe what you want. She said that her 12-year-old grandson, Vanessa's son, and Vanessa's 17-year-old cousin had a run-in with McNeil. This is the perpetrator. A little bit earlier, and that she and Vanessa were called home after the initial incident. She, McNeil, had cussed them out previously, and she had already took a knife to my niece, Vanessa's 17-year-old cousin. She, McNeil, the perpetrator, cut her first, and then when my daughter came home and she had seen what had happened, she called the police. So allegedly the police was en route from this first altercation of cousins and whomever fighting, and an older child. Police were already en route when Vanessa went to check her mail. Another neighbor, Dejana Smiley, watched the rest unfold. This is a minor. She, Vanessa, didn't look like she wanted to fight. I think she's a minor. She just wanted to go in the house, came out the house to check her mailbox. The lady had come out and just like punched her. Smiley watched Vanessa try to make it across the street, but she collapsed. We walked down there, little boy screaming, they killed my mama, she killed my mama. Wade is now left with only memories. Once again, outgoing, outspoken, beautiful person, says the mother. I'm truly going to miss my baby. McNeil has been arrested. First-degree murder complaint. News 9 is the source. LOS Lee. Two different versions of what the fuck happened over there. So what happened? These children said something to this older woman, older person. What was the first altercation about for her to go out and cut that girl? Excuse me. What was said for her to cut a child? She cut a 17-year-old. Why? Then that child calls her mother, which is the victim who ends up dead. The victim, number one, is a 17-year-old, allegedly, who gets cut by the perpetrator. Then the 17-year-old gets cut, calls her mama to come home. And then her mama gets cut too. To death. I do not know, Teresa. So obviously, McNeil likes using knives. She don't mind cutting you. She done cut the child. Then the mama come home, she kills the mama. What the hell was really going on? Because grandmother said there's another version of her being upset earlier, cussing out some kids. So what's the truth? Is this an escalation of neighborly issues? We also heard that the children were related. So what the fuck was going on with this McNeil lady? Was she having a bad day? Is she on medicine? She medicated? And she said in the chat, does she have a prior record? Does she have a prior record of assault with a deadly weapon? Is she on parole, probation? How many kids does she have? How long does she live in the neighborhood? How long did the victim live in the neighborhood? What the hell are we talking about? What the hell are we talking about? Oklahoma. Yes, because that's tragic to see your mother knifed to death. He will never get that out of his mind, seeing his mother murdered. And whoever else was an eyewitness looking out the window, standing on their porch. You know how black folks do. We do come outside when people get crunk. Shut up now. I first thought the child cut herself to cover for her. Looked like they're killing the other lady. Well, what would make you think that? What would make you think a child would cut herself? That's crazy. I never heard of that. I'm not going to cut myself to prove anything. A cutting involves bleeding. Just saying. My next story is very heinous. If you have a weak stomach, please remove yourself from the chat because you're not going to like what you're going to hear. I gave this information to Chris Thorne. I think he'd already heard about it, but I mentioned it to him earlier. He did a video about it. Please go check out his content. Queen's going to give her version of this disgusting tale out of Texas via Louisiana. Thank you for joining me. We got to get our ducks in a row here. Last story will be about baby Q. ABC 13 is my source. Well, I thought they was going to play a video. Hold on. I hate these videos and these articles. They take too long. Thank you. Thank you, Sippy.
Along with her 20, we've learned that the 40-year-old mother, her name's Zakaya Duncan, along with her 27-year-old boyfriend, his name Joe Otero, they both appeared before. We've learned that the 40-year-old mother, her name Zakaya Duncan, along with her 27-year-old boyfriend, his name Joe Otero, they both appeared before a judge over in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so we're getting this information from our reporting partners at the ABC affiliate over in Baton Rouge. They have a reporter inside the courtroom, and here's some information that she has shared with me. She says that both the mother and boyfriend are being held without bond, and Harris County has 30 days to extradite both of them back here to the Houston area. So both, along with 5 other kids, were at the center of an Amber Alert that was issued back on Tuesday. And eventually everybody was located over in Louisiana, and both of these adults were arrested. And so this is how everything started. These are the women's 16-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, captured at 5:30 in the morning on Tuesday, going door to door begging for help. And you can see there in the video, one of them doesn't even have a shirt on, and it was pretty cold out that morning. And so it's unclear how long the twins were looking for help, but eventually a woman did let them inside her house. And obviously she was horrified at their condition. She took some of these photos, and she tells ABC 13 that these twins were hungry. They shared details of their abuse. And here's more of what she says they told her.
Everything. They did not hold a single thing back. They were saying that the mom had them in handcuffs in the laundry room, that they were not allowed to eat, that I think they said they hadn't eaten over a week. The last time they ate was the Monday prior, according to them.
So both the mother and the boyfriend have been charged with injury to a child. And as for the twins, they are now in CPS care. The other 5 children that were missing, they since have been located. We don't have a lot more information about their conditions quite yet. But we did look into the background of the mother. And in Louisiana, she does have a documented case of child abuse stemming from a situation that happened back in 2012. As for incidents here in Texas involving these adults, CPS says that they have had no contact with the family. So of course this case continues to develop, and we'll be checking in to try and figure out when exactly this mother and the boyfriend will be back here in Harris County. Charlie Anthony, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Okay. You know, I'm going to get ignorant. If you are conservative, you might as well leave the chat right now. Ooh, God, forgive me. The fuck is your problem? You too busy chasing around that 27-year-old, and hey, Queen likes a young fella too every now and again. We ain't killing no kids and we ain't abusing no babies. You got 7 kids. Ting, 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 ting. And we don't know how many baby daddies, but you 40 and your boy toy is 27. And he went for the ride knowing you were mistreating those twins who are 16. So one's going to have to use deduction, as I told Chris Thorns. Perhaps those twins are mentally challenged because the average child is not going to, one, let you tie him or her up and not feed them. They're going to fight your ass back. They're going to fight your ass back. She also has 2 younger twins. I'm going to bring you alternating articles with different sources so you can get a gist of what the hell is going on. They're roaming the neighborhood. Fancy house, nice house, baby. We ain't talking about no low-income house either, baby. We ain't talking about the hood either. She just moved into a nice neighborhood. I call them mini mansions next to another mini mansion. How you get in that house? What you do for a living? Because you got a prior record in Louisiana for abusing those kids. And I believe they were smaller. I believe these 2 that's 16, they're the ones in the initial complaint that got you arrested in Louisiana 10 years ago. So I want to know what the hell you been doing all this time for income. I'll wait. What do you do for a living, Cookie? What's your source of income to live in that nice, fine home? What does your boyfriend do? Are you out trafficking drugs? Somebody trafficking somebody? Human trafficking, sex, porn? Somebody doing something, and I don't believe it's legal. Because even if you travel to Texas, Oklahoma, New York, it's possible your criminal background would come up that you abused your children and caught a charge for abusing your children. And this time we can talk bad about the State Department because they gave your kids, back to you. Did somebody abuse you as a child and you thought it was appropriate to treat all your children the same? You got your children eating fecal matter and urine and taking a bath out of dirty mop water and locking your children in the laundry room, which now we know the boyfriend had to have known because you're in a big fancy house. You want me to believe there was no washing machine and dryer in there? Then you went on a run. Now, you didn't go on a run because the 2 little mice got away, did you? Because I heard they ran away before, like a day or so before, and you caught them and brought them back and locked them back in that damn laundry room. But see, the spirit is what you can't contain because them babies wanted out of there. And frankly, they were big enough to fight your ass, but they didn't got no strength because you was starving your kids to death. Is that what you was wanting them to do, was die? As they told you, the mother connected to a sad case of potential child abuse went before a judge in Louisiana Thursday morning to determine when she will be brought back to Texas. The mother and her boyfriend are expected to arrive at a Harris County jail at some point. Both are facing injury to child charges, are accused of some horrific acts of child abuse. The mother has been identified as 40-year-old Zakiya Duncan, and her boyfriend is 27-year-old Jova Terrell. Both appeared before a judge and are being held without bond in Louisiana. Harris County has 30 days to extradite them back to Houston area. ABC 13 uncovered the video showing twin 16-year-olds going to a neighbor's home for help in Cypress, Texas. Deputies said they had been handcuffed. That led to the search of their mother, her boyfriend, and their siblings in Baton Rouge. Duncan and Terrell, along with 5 children, were at the center of an Amber Alert issued on Tuesday. They were eventually all found in Louisiana, and adults were arrested. This is how everything started. The woman's 16-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, were captured at about 5:30 a.m. Tuesday, going door to door begging for help. One of them was not even wearing a T-shirt, and the weather was fairly cold that morning. It's unclear how long they were looking for help, but a woman eventually led them inside. She said she was horrified at their condition. She told ABC 13 that they were hungry, shared details of their abuse they suffered at home, claiming not having eaten in days and being handcuffed and locked inside the laundry room at their Cypress home, and know that these children were just in the house a week and a half, from my understanding. Sorry about that in the chat. It's crazy nonsense. The neighbor called the police, which sparked an Amber Alert. The girl was saying, "This is what's going on." And the boy was just, all he could think about was food. They sat down. Both of them said they were hungry. They started eating and saying how they moved from Baton Rouge to here, the neighbors said. The twins are now in the care of Child Protective Services. We looked into the mother's background and found that she has a documented case of child abuse in Louisiana, 2012. As for incidents in Texas, CPS said they have no contact with the family. So she's newly moved here from Louisiana and has an old case in the system from 2012 of abuse. Something was going on in Louisiana once again for her to bring those kids here. And when we go back into time, I'm assuming these children are the same kids that she abused, burned, genitals, burned the feet years ago. And the state of Louisiana said, "I'll give your kids back to you." For those of you who love to say the state don't give second chances, each case is different. So obviously nobody gave a fuck about these kids because you gave them back. ABC 13 was that source. We're going to find another source to bring you more information about these kids. I want you to take a good look at these photographs. That's a child that's almost an adult, abused by a black mangy bat. A boy and a girl, 16 years age, twins, brother and sister. Hold on. Ready to play you something. ABC 7 is my next source pertaining to this story. Texas woman helps handcuff twins after they escape abusive home. So, probation and taking a class for abusing your children who was much smaller then, and obviously got them back. If we're to assume these are the same children. She has 7 These two are the oldest. They are 16. The ones under them are 14. Let's commence with the information. Thank you for joining me. Children were taken to the hospital. Their mothers, Akaya Duncan, 40, and boyfriend Jova Terrell, 27, are being charged with injury to a child in Harris County. They were taken into custody Tuesday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after fleeing with 5 of their other children and triggering an Amber Alert. They are currently awaiting transport back. Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's Office said the 16-year-old twin boy and girl went door to door in the neighborhood where they live looking for help early in the morning. It's not known how many doors they knocked on before they ended up at the home of a woman in the next neighborhood at 5:30 a.m. She spoke to our sister station, KTRK-TV, anonymously for safety purposes. Her doorbell camera caught the twins asking, "Can you help us?" and showing their handcuffs. When they came inside, they were like, "We are not here to hurt you," the woman recalled. She was shaking with her handcuffs. She was like, "We are looking for help. We just need help. We just broke out our handcuffs. Our mom has us handcuffed in the laundry room." Immediately, she said the teens told her they were starving, had not eaten in more than a week. The woman gave them a snack, and she said they ate everything she put in front of them. The woman, an ICU nurse, photographed the wounds on their body. Their wrists were cut from the handcuffs. She noticed scarring on their wrists. The little girl was complaining that she couldn't even close her hand because her hand just felt so tight and swollen from her trying to tug and pull off the handcuffs, the woman said. They told her about the abuse they endured inside their home and did not hold back any details. They tried to escape the day before, and the mother caught them and locked them back up. They complained about feeling stiff from being in just one position in the laundry room, the woman said. Rather than calling 911, she said she called her local police department and relayed the situation. The woman said they were there in minutes and took the girl away on a stretcher. Child Protective Services in Texas said they had not been involved with the family. Louisiana's Department of Child and Family Services had been and had at least one document case of abuse in 2012. The woman is still trying to process what happened, she said. She is frustrated that Duncan had custody of her children and that the abuse got to this extreme. She plans to follow this case to the end so siblings know that there is someone who cares for them. Give these abusers life in prison like murderers because that's ultimately what it's going to lead to. I bet crime would go down, she said. Kids would not be abused because they would be scared to go to prison for life. Duncan and Terrell are expected to be transported back to Harris County on Thursday. This information was uploaded October 20th. So today they should be back in Texas from Louisiana. 101 viewing. Thank you for your time. You are two dirty motherfuckers. Did you hear what I just said? You've been abusing your kids for years. And I don't know if you've been abused or not. You and this spanking ass 27-year-old, I don't really care. Because a lot of people abuse as children, verbally abused, ostracized, criticized, shifted around, thrown around, given to the state's custody. They don't grow up and abuse their children. Some have children, some don't have children. But somebody must not have liked you as a child because you're now putting that dirty deed upon your kids. You have 7 children that you don't give a fuck about. And the state had no business giving your kids back to you back in 2012 because then they would have been itty bitty spiders, the first few you had. And I believe these 2 that are 16 were the ones you abused back in 2012. Burning of the feet, genitals, and all type of nonsense. Texas say they don't have any contact with you in their child services department. Lucky Texas. Louisiana, y'all need y'all ass beat. They need their asses beat. And I think you should give them what they gave those kids. So you won't get no free meals in jail. We're going to starve your ass. We're going to burn your genitals. We're going to make you bathe in dirty mop water. We're going to make you eat your feces and your urine because you think your children deserve that. Tie you up, bind you up, make you walk around the prison, jail, naked. How about that? Where are the family members of these children? Baby daddies, family members. Where is everybody? Where's everybody in Louisiana? Who was the family that took the 5 in when these two was trying to go on a run? Because obviously she knew her children were gone, so she already knew, oh, we got to get out of here. So y'all fled back to Louisiana where you just moved from. And we already know you moved from Louisiana because somebody down there was probably calling on you. So you come to Texas. But then you buy a big baby house. We're trying to figure out how you can afford that house. Because that's a nice little spread there. So what y'all doing for a living to afford that nice house? Y'all better stay woke out there. You don't know people. Keep trying to tell y'all. WAFB 9. It's my third source pertaining to these children. 5 missing children from Texas found safe in Baton Rouge. Hold on.
In Louisiana, life without power is a huge inconvenience. No lights, no refrigeration, no air conditioning.
Commercial. Sorry about that. We're going to bring you another source pertaining to these children. Lord, if these people don't get out my chat with this nonsense. Thank you for joining me. See, the devil knows his name.
Texas. Tonight, investigators say all 5 children are safe and accounted for here in Baton Rouge. Louisiana State Police arrested the children's mothers, Zakiya Duncan and her boyfriend Jova Terrell, after they were stopped near LSU this evening. Authorities in 2 states have been looking for them all day long. Texas officials say they took off with the kids this morning. The couple will be sent back to Texas, where they will face charges.
Don't you find it interesting that the children finally went to a house that had a nurse that lived there? What are the odds of that? They knocked on God knows how many doors in that neighborhood. I think I heard one guy say, no, you can't come in here. Naturally, a person will be afraid to open their door any time of night or day, and they don't know the people outside of the door. Somebody could have been using those kids as a ruse to break in the house, rob the people, kill the people. So I understand why they wouldn't open the door. But imagine how they feel now knowing they didn't open the door and hear the news that 2 children were severely abused, malnourished, tortured by their own mother, possibly the boyfriend participated too, and you didn't open the door. But as I said, safety concerns, one has to preserve him or herself and their family. And you can't just open doors for people you do not know, no matter what they're saying through the door. The best thing to have done, if you thought the children were telling the truth, just say, hey, I'm going to call the police. But what would have been scary is they're knocking at your door, and here comes the mom and boyfriend running up to them, trying to recapture them again. That would be horrific. And at that point, you got to decide, do you want to open the door and help intervene? But you don't know if they got a weapon? It's a bad situation. Because we don't even know if these 2 bats were armed with weapons. News 9, WAFB. A Harris County, Texas official said 5 missing children from that state were found safe in Baton Rouge on Tuesday, October 18th, and the suspects sought in connection with their disappearances were captured by Louisiana State Police. Constable Ted Heat posted on social media that one of the children was found with Zakiya Duncan, 40, the children's biological mother, and Jova Terrell, 27, Duncan's boyfriend, and the others were located at a relative's house. He added Duncan and Terrell are in custody and will be returned to Texas to face charges. Here are the names of the children and their ages. Nicholas Menina, 7. Zayden Menina, 10. Jovian Menina, 12. Javier Menina, 12. And Gerard Menina, 14. All boys. The 5 children recovered in Louisiana are all boys. 2 are twins at the age of 12. That's Jovian and Javier, or Javier. So that means she has a total of 6 boys and 1 girl. Her 2 older twins are a boy and a girl, 16. Those are the ones you saw running around trying to get help. And some lady kindly opened her door. Now, let's go over a state to Louisiana. They're on the run, and only one was in their custody, and the other one was obviously 4 of them with the other family. And once, like I said, who are these other relatives that took these children in? And what did she tell you why her reason for dropping those off and then keeping one with her? So let me guess, she kept the one she liked, her favorite. She had a favorite out of all this abuse. And we do know this happens with abusers. They have a favorite. So which one was that out of the 5 I just named? Let's recap. Nicholas, 7. Zayden, 10. Jovian, 12. Javier, 12. And Gerard, 14. So let me take a wild guess. You like Nicholas. He's the baby. Is that the one you had in your custody when the police found you? You and Pookie? And then you took the other 4 boys and dumped them off at a relative's house, while your other 2 are running around the state of Texas starving to death. I don't give a fuck what they do to you and that boy. That 27-year-old boy that was on your hip. You went and found you another boy to carry around as a fucking baby along with the 6 boys you got and a girl. You obviously is a boy maker. As Chris Thorne said, that's all you're worth down there. You're just a walking twat. A nasty, stinky, fish-bottom twat. That's the only worth you've served since you've been above ground is having sex and making babies. You're a stink pot. A bum. A bottom feeder. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Anybody sit there and abuse their damn kids and starve them and burn them and mess with the private parts, handcuffing kids, they're almost grown. 16 is almost grown. That's why I said, I told Chris, they have to be mentally challenged because who wouldn't fight this heifer back? I'd beat you to sleep. And that'd be between me and God, what God wants to do with me, whether you my mama or not. Because it's survival of the fittest, and you is not nobody's mama. So killing you would be a luxury. Killing you would be a luxury. Because you also were torturing them besides starving them. So they had every right to fight you back as to preserve life. And that 27-year-old, you getting ready to get it too, homeboy. Because you knew she was abusing her kids. And God forbid you were participating. How in the fuck could you lay up with a woman knowing she's got her kids locked in a damn laundry room? So now we got to ask, how long you been dating her? Where she meet you at? Let me guess, the date site. She picked you up on the date site. And then moved you to Texas in a fancy house. Are y'all hearing this? This bitch moved into a fancy ass neighborhood, upscale looking neighborhood. Because there wasn't no cheap looking houses. I want to know how you paid for that house. I want to know where you got the money from, where you got the money put down. I want to know. Queen want to know. Somebody find out and send me a message. I want to know how your black ass could afford that damn house. That's what I want to know. You are bottom feeder, you and that black boy. And whoever aided you, knowing you abused your children all these years, your ass need to go down too. And the Department of Human Services, you do need a lawsuit on this case. This ain't no Cow City shit here. You gave her kids back to her, and you were wrong. You were wrong. All right. Showtime at the Apollo. Last story for the evening. Oh, Lord God. God, give me strength. Prayers for all 7 children. And I want to say this to the lady who took the children in. God bless you. But the one thing you need to understand about criminals is that they do not care. And you possibly think that giving a person a lengthy sentence means something. It doesn't mean anything because they never cared for the children. As you see with other criminals who commit heinous crimes against persons, they don't care. So it would not matter about a long sentence Only a fool would abuse their children, period. And she'd have to know that eventually somebody would find out she was still abusing her children. So jail, prison doesn't mean anything. Didn't mean anything to that 27-year-old who's riding on her coattail as a child. She's just a baby maker. And it doesn't matter if they give her 20 to life, 30 to life, 100 years. She never cared. And she will sit in a prison alongside people just like her who never cared. She's an empty vessel. She's been empty because she's only 40. So 10 years ago, she was 30 and severely abusing her children. Somebody possibly abused her as a child. And when she became a mother, she exacted what was done to her. Severe abuse and torture. Her soul is tainted. And that boy, he's tainted too. And the fact that these two are meshing around and having sex with each other, God forbid she got knocked up by the 27-year-old. She'd be beating, abusing that damn baby. I don't know about Section 8 housing for this house, baby. These look like newer houses. This was not your typical neighborhood where it looks like somebody owned the house and wanted to rent it out. These were very nice homes. Thank you for joining me. Justice for these children. Thank you all so much for following the content. We're now going to get into the dirty business of my last story pertaining to baby Q. Have mercy. The devil is real. If you never believed in the devil, you should now. WJCL is my first source pertaining to Quentin Simon. Thank you for joining me. No, Sheree, that ain't no Section 8. Even if somebody owned that house, I doubt that they would rent it out to Section 8 participants because people hear so many horrible stories and a lot of people make it bad for people who are on vouchers. I doubt they'd rent that out. They'd have to be awfully desperate. But who knows? Could be a personal owner who took a voucher. Could be. Or they got some type of connery going on in Texas. All right, everybody, here we go. WJCL. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Criminal justice professor discusses Quentin Simon search. Thank you.
To the FBI search of a Chatham County landfill, they're looking for any sign of little Quentin Simon. Our Andy Cole joins us live now from the command center, L. Scottsdale Park.
Yeah, Andy, you talked to a legal analyst about where we are in this case. This is just such a huge story. Can you catch us up right now?
Hey, good afternoon, Marvis and Brooke. As the sun set Tuesday on the first day of searching a landfill, piece by piece for any remains of Quentin, Leilani Simon, and Billy Joe Howell, Quentin's mom and grandmother, were on Tybee Island at a bar, taking shots and being, quote, very loud. 22-year-old Leilani Simon is the prime suspect in this case, and while police diligently scour the landfill, she remains free. No charges have been filed and no arrests have been made. Police say they're not ready to move forward with charges just yet. Philip Holloway is a former police officer and prosecutor turned attorney. He said the reports of Leilani at the bar isn't the image any defense attorney wants to see.
That's not the kind of look that a lawyer is going to want to have to explain in the event there are criminal charges and the jury has to take a look at that. And at the very least, a jury is going to want to see a parent behaving like a grieving parent would be expected to behave.
Some good insight, Andy, but what's the latest on the physical search?
Well, as I mentioned at the top, FBI experts from Quantico in Atlanta, they're going by piece during the search. They started early this morning, and it seems by the cars we've got right out here that they are still working right now. We'll, of course, keep you updated and bring you more at 6. Marvis?
All right, our Andy Cole reporting live. Thank you, Andy.
And we're getting new insight into the process being used to locate little Quentin Simon's remains. For starters, the FBI is calling the brown dirt you're seeing behind me here the search deck. They say investigators are sifting through the debris placed on this deck for any evidence. Once that debris is cleared, it's removed and replaced with another section of material. While the FBI says they have identified a specific area of the landfill to search and no new trash is coming into that area, a criminal justice professor we spoke with says that likely won't make the search any easier.
I think it's going to be an incredibly difficult search, unfortunately. The area itself is really massive, so there's a lot of ground to cover, and that's all complicated by the fact that there's garbage and trash there that they're going to have to go around and underneath. And of course, that speeds up the decaying process.
The FBI says this search will not be quick, not be easy, and the outcome is uncertain.
All right, let's chop up what was said there. Will not be easy. Some are estimating months for this child to be found. Excuse me, baby Q. What are your thoughts on that? Weeks to months. No new trash being brought into the landfill. If you've been paying attention to the story, you've seen area views of the landfill and it's daunting work. This is not an overnight process. This is serious business. This is serious business. It's cold, starting to get cold. As the weather gets worse, the ground becomes hard. And we don't want this to go into months because the ground will be harder. Although they have a dump truck that has the tools to dig up the earth, but still nonetheless, it still will be hard. I pray they find the child. I don't know the condition he'll be in as to get a proper autopsy report and manner of death. It's not looking good. WSAV3's second source pertaining to Quentin Simon.
Tonight, we are bringing you content you will see only on News 3. It is a picture of Quentin Simon's mom at a Tybee Island bar just hours after federal agents left a landfill looking for her child's body. So far, Leilani Simon has refused to comment on Quentin's death.
Leilani, do you have anything to say? Leilani, tell us where Quentin's
That's a week old when they're in the car pulling out.
Federal agents and police officers returned to a landfill for a second day to scour the property for Quentin's remains. WSAV's lead investigative reporter Brett Buffington is joining us live now from the Joint Task Force Command Center near that landfill. And that is where the search for Quentin continues.
And Tina, some dozens of agents. They just left for the day. They started at sunrise this morning. They will be back at sunrise tomorrow. They told us yesterday that this search, it could take days. This is the shot from above. Federal agents lined up, raking through garbage. Yesterday, this went on for hours. Today, this is the shot that is trending. That's Leilani Simon, the only suspect in her son's disappearance. Leilani, her mother Billie Jo Howell, and others at a popular Tybee Island bar last night, just hours after the search for her son wrapped up. We've learned from the people who waited on them. They took shots, got flirty, and even demanded one waiter's phone number. The investigative unit with the shot showing the missed phone call, that number from Billie Jo Howell's cell phone. That grandmother today telling these Tybee Island cops, we were starting to annoy her. We found Billie Jo Howell leaving this Tybee Island hotel. She didn't stop to talk to us then,
And though it says she read this message asking about last night, she didn't text us back either.
This is my baby, not yours!
It was just over a week and a half ago. Billy Joe Howell got into this emotion-fueled argument.
You were wrong. I begged you to help. I begged you to help.
Last night, the party, according to the waiters, ran up a tab over $300 while protesters stood in front of the family's house demanding justice for Quentin.
Listen, there are so many people asking tonight, why hasn't this mom been arrested? She's the only suspect in the case. The Chatham County Police Chief doubled down on what he told us yesterday, that when they filed charges,
rodents. What are you talking about, addicted?
If they file those charges in this case, they want to make sure that they don't get hung up on any technicality. Tina?
Brett, thank you. Now, if you would like to stay up to date on this case, you can do it by going to WSAV.com/Quentin Simon. You will find a timeline of events in the case as well as exclusive content of our coverage.
All right. Let's chop up what was said. Screenshots, telephone number by Billy Joe Howell, given to a stranger, waiter. Billy Joe, aren't you married? So what are you doing giving out your number to a man? Where was Papa, everybody? Any suggestions where the husband was? Was he there eating with them? I hear you ran up a $300 tab. That's a lot of eating and drinking. But see, this is what I tell people about people's behaviors. Why are you shocked that they're drinking and eating and laughing and flirting with people and asking for telephone numbers and having sexual relations? This is what they were doing when the children were abused and walking around and seen. So you're shocked because there's a child in the dump? Why would you be shocked? No different than the story I just brought you, this black woman abusing her children. She's been abusing her children since they came out of her womb. Somebody knew about it. That's why her ass fled to Texas, then back to Louisiana, because she tied her children up and they escaped. She's trying to run from justice. But somebody knew, because somebody always knows. And they don't say anything. And if they do, they got to wait on DHS. Police do their damn job. Who was flirting with the waiter? Leilani or Billy Joe? Hell, might be both. Might be a mom and daughter tag team. I said it. We don't really know how these people get down. Maybe the daughter and the mama wanted to have a little kinky fun with the boy toy. Menage a trois. Mom and daughter style. Stay woke. Wow, wow, wow. What a mess. Jeez. Can't make this stuff up. Woo. So they were seen on Tybee Island. YouTubers down there stalking them. Here's this other story pertaining to the hecklers. Found Quentin Simon's family. ABC 22 is the source for this bit of information.
2 weeks since Savannah toddler Quentin Simon was reported missing, as investigators continue to search a Chatham County landfill for his body. Now, we've learned new information about the whereabouts of his mother, the prime suspect in this case.
Brooke Butler reporting from the nearby command center. She has new insight tonight about where the prime suspect's mother, Leilani, was recently seen.
We want justice for Quentin, just like everybody else.
As investigators wrapped up their first official day of searching at this Chatham County landfill, Quentin's mother, Leilani, and grandmother, Billy Joe Howell, were spotted miles away on Tybee Island. The host of a popular bar and restaurant tells me they were taking shots at their establishment and being, quote, very loud. This just hours after police announced they believe Quentin's body was thrown away like trash.
We believe that he was placed in a specific dumpster at a specific location, and it was brought here by regular means of disposal.
The mother and daughter were spotted again Wednesday morning at a Tybee Island motel. Police confirmed with WJCL they were called to Sandcastle, and twice over people, quote, exercising their First Amendment rights and shouting at the motel. They say no arrests were made and no police report was filed, but a woman who identified herself as Billy Joe told officers she would be leaving and wouldn't come back. When we were there at around 1 in the afternoon, there was no sign of the two. But police don't believe Leilani's a flight risk. As for why she hasn't been arrested yet,
because we're not ready to charge anyone yet. We still have work to do. We still have an investigation to do, and we are not going to do anything preemptively that would harm future prosecution.
now it could take investigators days, weeks, even months to find Quentin Simon's remains, but they're determined to do so he can get the final resting place he deserves. Reporting in Chatham County, I'm Brooke Butler, WJCL 22 News.
ABC 22 for that source. Number 3, pertaining to Quentin Simon and his dusty parents, relatives. Once again, you can't be shocked that these people are hooping it up, getting drunk, turned up, getting high, because that's what they're about. They're junkies. They're addicts. This is what they were doing before the child went missing. This is what you have to understand about people. Why would somebody change? Addicted mind, I don't understand what you're talking about, the rodents. What about the rodents? Now they're saying possibly months. Well, everybody's different. She doesn't have any reason to confess. You haven't arrested her. Why is she going to confess? You haven't arrested her. You haven't given her a reason to confess. Always remember the details. It's what I keep telling you all about true crime. You haven't even arrested her. So she's cocky at this point. Okay? She's cocky. She's feeling herself. She's feeling herself, okay? She's feeling herself. They haven't arrested me. They're not going to find him. They need a body. They obviously want a body. So I'm not going to go talk to the police. You don't have a body. She's never spoke out about the child. They're not speaking out about finding him, seeking him, how he even got in the damn dumpster in the first place. Exactly. There should be an arrest for false reporting. So that should be the first charge. We know that you lied because we have proof that you lied. We have proof to how he got in the dumpster, that you put him in the dumpster that got to the landfill. That should be charge number 1. Because I have the proof. And naturally, they don't have to tell us what the proof is. So that's why she should have been arrested already when you decided she was the suspect and that she put the child in a dumpster that got it to the child to the landfill. So I don't understand this, Chief. I don't care about all that other stuff you're talking about. Investigation. We get all that. You can still be investigating while she's in jail on the false reporting charge. And the judge say, I'll hold her till we get more information in and don't give her a bond because possibly she murdered the child. You bring that evidence to the courts. She lied. We got proof she killed the baby, put him in the dumpster. Here's our proof, but we're still investigating. A judge might have held her. You don't know because she haven't done it. She may have lied about putting him in the dumpster. Well, you don't know. She hasn't talked to the police to tell him she put him in the dumpster. You all got to stop listening to that gossip. I've told you all about that. The girl has not talked to the police. You're listening to Facebook shit. Don't listen to that. She has not told anybody nothing. Don't listen to what Billy Joe said. Don't listen to any of that. I've already told you. They have evidence. It could be surveillance. It could be pings. It could be somebody saw her. You know, people do have cameras on their businesses where you dump trash. Maybe a GPS on her car. GPS on ding, 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 ding. Cell phone. Too stupid to turn off notifications. See, you don't know what they have. But they're not at that landfill for nothing. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Well, that's the whole point. The baby's in a trash bin, then a dump. So anything could have happened to him. He could have gotten flattened in the garbage can when they put the trash on the truck. They have to make room for trash. If you're going from house to house, business to business, picking up trash, he could have been flattened before he even got to the landfill. This is disturbing news. All this is very disturbing because now we're sitting here wondering what shape he's in. And this is the worst part of the story. And we don't even know how he actually died. Just imagine how he possibly could have died versus what we're thinking he looks like now in the dumpster. I mean, in the landfill. Well, the police should have arrested her for the false report. I'm not knocking what the police is doing, but that's one part of the investigation where there should have been an arrest because you can't have a suspect call them out to the public and then you're letting them walk free. So she should have been arrested for filing a false report. That has been done, as in the case with Megan Boswell. That was her first charge, lying. Same thing with Jacqueline and Giselle West. They lied. They knew this. Wow, I didn't think you need to explain that. Guess so. Let's hear what the babysitter has to say.
Positive messages. So I thank y'all guys for that. I just wanted to come on here because I keep getting a lot of questions. You know, I really don't know anything more than y'all know. I don't talk to anybody. I just listen to the news. We're just waiting. We're praying. At this point now, from what the news says, I really had hope that Quentin was alive. But if we're going with what the news says, then we just want him to be put to rest in peace and justice for Quentin. Like I said, I don't know no more than what y'all know. I'm watching the news every time it comes on. I feel like the cops are doing a really good job, but they are having to go by what they're supposed to go by protocol to make sure that they get the person that is responsible. But yes, I don't know anything. I've just been. We're all sad. We're all heartbroken. People that don't know Quentin all around the world has sent me messages of his pictures and how precious he was. And yes, he is precious. And so was his brother and his sister. But just go on some of the videos that I took and I shared, and it'll make your heart smile. He was a very loving baby. He is a very loving baby. He is just precious. And to the other question that I've been getting asked a lot, and I have addressed this before, I could not keep someone else's baby. I have been asked so many times, why didn't you keep them and not give them back? Well, I could have been put in jail for kidnapping.
Oh, they know that. Who would say that?
Child. I've said it over and over.
You want the lady to go to jail for kidnapping baby Q and other brothers and sisters? They're not her children. They were not her children. You know you can't keep somebody else's child. It would be kidnapping. You all say the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. It's bad enough she's got herself wrapped up in this mess with these people and her baby's dead. 2 are in foster care. And you're going to ask her, why didn't you keep them? Ooh, Lord have mercy. I don't understand it. Hell, she damn near was keeping them. How about that?
Reports were made. So I just wish everybody would stop.
I agree.
Saying things like that.
I don't know why she's still talking.
Common sense. I can't keep someone's baby. I kept them as much as I could. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and let y'all know that I do not know any more than y'all. I am watching the news. I am watching all the groups, the Christian groups for Quentin as well, to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, we're just praying, we're hoping, and waiting. So thank y'all all for the nice comments. Thank you for loving Quentin, because you don't have to know a baby to love a baby. A child, a baby. You don't have to know him. But he was a happy baby. And my girls, y'all are asking me how my girls are doing.
Yeah, I wondered about that too. Was he a happy child?
They do love kids, all kids. Quentin was very close to us, so they have had a hard time with it. Of course they are, but we're just trying to get through it. And I know that eventually it will come to an end and the cops will tell us something. And we'll all know. So, but
addicted
yeah,
now.
I don't want no one to think that I'm getting on here for attention, or that I'm perfect. I'm this perfect angel that took care of a child. No, I'm not perfect. But I can tell you, I've never hurt a kid. I have 6 of my own, and I'm a good mother. And we were good to Clayton.
She said she has 6 of her own. That's a lot of children to be taking care of other people's children. You have to admit that. That's strange. Because now you have to ask yourselves, how old are McCarter's children? Her own children. Did she have children at her house at the time she was taking care of 3 babies? Because that seems like that would be an abundance of responsibility. And one could question her mindset that if you did have other children in the house besides these, why would you take them on when you were not making a lot of money? And then you also saw that possibly the children were abused and neglected. Then the mother was leaving them longer than she was supposed to, and also had you watching them on days when she did not work. Exactly. I don't know why somebody would feel obligated. All her children, she has 6. She says she has 6 kids. All her kids are teenagers. She has 6 teenagers. That means she's had them back to back from what? 13 up to what? 18 what? What are we saying? I don't think she should be talking either. I just think it's a bad idea because, one, she lives there. We don't. She lives down the street from these goons, and I don't trust them. And you don't know what they might do. And the more you talk, even if you're not saying anything negative about Leilani and Billy Joe and Pookie Ray and Bubba, I don't trust these people. I don't trust anybody that knows them, that's affiliated with them. And when you least expect it, something could pop off. I would only talk to people I know personally that know my spirit and my heart. I just don't think maybe she should be going live and talking. It's a toss of the coin. Some people think she might need to talk. She wants to clear her throat, but you've already cleared your throat. You told us who he was, how you came to meet these people. But the more these people do stuff, they don't get arrested, and you start giving little commentary. You don't know what could set these fucking people off. And like I said, you don't know any of these people, and you don't know nothing. Well, Gam, that's what Billy Joe was trying to say to her. Even though she said it was just about food and setting up a prayer vigil. But my thing is, they did put her in the mix when they sent her the text messages. Should have never called her, should have never texted her. But I think they needed her, whoever they are, Leilani and whoever else, to get this ruse of this baby being missing. So they did involve her. When they sent her the text saying, we don't need you today. And, oh, have you seen the child? If anything, they should have only sent one text. Hey, we don't need your services today. But you fucked up when you said, oh, by the way, have you seen him? So naturally, she's going to be looking like, well, what's wrong? What's the matter? Oh, I'll come over and help. So they were turning on her once she got to the house, not wanting her to help. Hell no, they don't want you to help. They don't want you walking around. They don't want you looking at nothing. See, this is what I tell people about a crime. People don't know what's going to happen once they put the wheels in motion and start speaking and talking. You can rehearse it in your head 1,000 times, but until you actually start saying stuff to people, texting them, calling them, you don't know what the response is going to be. You don't know how the police is going to react to you, how the detectives are going to react to you. And people clam up. They get nervous. That's why she was spinning all those different stories about what happened to baby Q. He wandered off. His daddy came and got him. His daddy took him. She's just making up stuff. She was fishing. It's a nut.
Nobody's perfect. But yeah, I've had a lot of that too, saying that I thought I was perfect because I love Quentin. No, I'm far from perfect, but 100% we do love Quentin. And we're praying that.
See that comment right there? Whoever said that to you, why do you feel you need to explain yourself? I'm not getting ready to sit here and explain myself on social media about no baby. See, you're opening Pandora's box. Just what she don't get. Somebody said something you don't like in a message, a random stranger. Now you get on a live to explain why what they said about you is wrong. You don't owe us no explanation. Because we wouldn't never known who you were had you not went live. And naturally, people on YouTube and other networks were going to go find you out as soon as you went live and mentioned his name. That's common sense. Then your background came out. That's common sense. Just the way it is. Stop talking. This is how I feel. You might need to stop talking. Because I don't like all this explaining. Why do you feel like you got to explain yourself? You're now responding to criticism about this and that. And, oh, you think you're perfect because you did. See, I wasn't even explaining myself. See, this is never going to stop. To me, this is turning into like a part 2 of the Donald Wells show. Yeah, I'm going to say that. You got to get up to give an explanation about this and this and this. But in the end, all the he said and the she said and why I did this and why I took him in and why I kept him and I saw this and I saw that. I called CPS. I didn't call CPS. Nobody can tell us where the fuck the baby is. Now we get when he's in a landfill, it can't nobody find him. Because in the end, that's what we want. We want the baby. But we now know he's not alive. So I wouldn't be caring to explain myself about who I am, my past. I wouldn't say nothing. I'd let you wonder and guess. You say what you want to say about me. I wouldn't say the word because as I told you, nobody would have known McCarthy's name had she not done that Facebook Live. She told on herself. I would have never said nothing. Because Billy Joe and Leilani were never going to tell you who kept their kid. So she told that. And people on social media follow through by looking. Who's this McCarter lady? Oh, and then one thing begets another. You start fishing, trying to see what she's done, her husband, her kids, who's been in trouble. It's what people do. That's why a lot of people don't come forward and speak about stuff. Because if they know they got a little grainy past or they've done some jacked up stuff and maybe they're an eyewitness to a crime, they don't want you knowing, oh, yeah, I saw you shoot this man over here, because you're going to start digging in my past and start pulling up dirty stuff about me, what I did yesterday, what I did 5 years ago. That's why people don't like talking on camera. That's why they don't like giving their names. Because they don't want to be judged. They don't want to be judged. And God forbid if they ain't done something a long time ago, still you're going to have people that's going to give criticism about something. Hell, maybe you weren't great to work with at McDonald's. Well, let me go tell that. This is all crazy to me. All this chitter chatter people stalking and following people, yet we still don't have the baby.
We're hoping and praying that it would be good news, but I don't know. But thank you all. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Amanda, for all the prayers. Thank you, Ashley. We really do and did and do love Quentin. We love Zane. We love Sky. And we're praying for Zane and Sky too. We can't forget about
Yes,
them.
don't leave them out. Exactly.
They're in a safe place and they're being loved. And I think they are. So I just wanted to get on here. And maybe y'all will see something that I don't see. So if y'all see something, please message me. Like I said, we're watching. But there's a lot of things that have been put on that I didn't even know. So maybe we can share together. And the reason why I get on here and do live is because there's so many of y'all that love Quentin, and we can cry together. We can talk about him. We can just share what a wonderful, precious baby he is, and we can all agree on that he is a precious baby. So we don't have to be negative or mean. But yes, I just I thank y'all for everything, for the prayers. No, I didn't. Yes, I did see a video of them on Dobby. But I don't know what is happening. I haven't seen nothing else. But
the noise in the background.
People has come on my house and thank you. You're a blessing, really, all of y'all.
Somebody's trying to eat. This is weird to me. It's very weird to me.
It's just about the love and the care that you're sharing towards Quentin and everyone.
Well, Lex, they have something. That's all I'm
It should
saying.
be about Quentin, and it should be about people praying for him, people loving him, and people remembering him. Like in our house, whenever he's found and this comes to an end, we will always keep his memory alive. We will always love him. We will always talk about him because he was a part of our life.
What is that noise?
Thank you so much, Denise. So, yeah, just keep praying for Quentin and everybody involved.
This case is exhausting.
And keep sharing his face all over.
2 weeks.
That's what I keep doing.
Like this been going on 5 months.
Has said that I'm sharing too much, but I'm not sharing too much. He's a precious baby. Keep sharing his face, keep sharing his story. Because people need to know that this isn't okay.
So many of us.
Commercial. This video's getting winded, and she still hasn't stopped talking. I'm just saying. 8 minutes in.
Yes, Denise, I agree with you. It can't be forgotten. The whole story can't be forgotten.
Well, Addicted doesn't agree with this. Okay.
Justice. He does. And God is bigger than...
This is where I have the problem. You're in a public place. Why are you going live in a public place? Now, it's one thing to go live in your own home. I respect that. In your own home, a park, nobody's around, at the lake, nobody's around, nobody knows who you are. But you're going live in probably somewhere in your demographic. Most people know your face by now, even if they don't know you. And you're going live talking about this dead kid, not trying to be too obstructive in your commentary about the family, but you're still in public and somebody can hear you. And somebody's making noise back and forth. I think somebody's trying to eat or they're using silverware. I don't know. But I wouldn't have gone live in a restaurant. Why? Why go live in a restaurant? For what? You mean to tell me there was no other time you can go live? You went live the first time in your house. Second time in your house. So I just want to know, why would you go live in a public place? It's strange to me. Some of you may disagree. Because naturally, as they say, you can go live when you want to go live. It's your phone. You pay the due bill. Okay, I'm going to read Addicted Mind says, too many people place too much value on an audience of strangers and clicks and views. I can't say it enough. I'm so grateful I grew up before the internet. Well, and that's true. And that's how a lot of people get caught up is from this social media. Be a social media hag. Your world revolves around looking at people talk and take pictures and pics and views and likes and commenting and putting up emojis and memes and commenting and jumping on Facebook groups and commenting and getting kicked out and cussing and fussing and doxing and running over to YouTube. This YouTube is probably the worst. It's the worst. It's worse than Facebook. But you can make a channel, build a channel about anything. You can lie in the comment box, use an alias, talk shit, crap, junk, chase people around and jump in their inboxes from TikTok to IG to Facebook, stalk people, email them and cuss them out. It's sickening. Now, I'm not saying she's doing this for attention, but I do see that she is possibly lonely. I sense that with her. I sense some loneliness in her. I don't know what's going on in her life. I don't know what her life is like with her children. I don't know what her life is like with her husband. But I'm just sitting here thinking one free moment to go out and have a nice meal or enjoy the company of the person I'm with, I would be trying to enjoy that person's company. And even if we decided to talk about Baby Q and those gang of goons, it wouldn't be on a live. We would just be talking amongst ourselves. And what about the person sitting across from her or who else is at the table? And they're being quiet, obviously, to let her do her live. I think somebody else will possibly find a problem with that to be like, okay, I ain't come out here to watch and sit at the table with you while you do a live about these people and this baby. We could talk about it, but shit, do your live at home on your own spare time. See, we don't even know who the hell is sitting at the table with her. So some might start, would judge this live and say, are you really being genuine? Because you're eating. So do you have your meal at the table? Let's go there before we finish this live. Does she have food actually at the table? Or did she just sit down, hadn't ordered yet, or had ordered and decided, well, I got a few minutes before the food gets here, I'll do a quick live? Or has she finished eating or taken a break at a buffet? She's in between plates, decides to go live. Just saying. 8 minutes in, 14-minute video.
Than all of us, he knows everything that we don't know, and he's going to take care of the situation. So I just wanted to come on and let y'all know that, because like I said, I'm not ignoring any of your messages. It's a lot, so it's easier for me to do it like this. But yeah, thank you guys. And like I said, if y'all hear something and I haven't been on, please let me know, because we really want this. We're praying this comes to an end.
Hit the link. Tell me how you feel.
And I know
2 hours in. Hit the link.
People all around the world that are sharing Quentin's pictures and sharing this whole situation, and they're crying and they're upset, because we're human. We love each other. We love one another, and we love babies. We love kids. So
8 minutes of this.
It's good that we can do this. It's good that we can talk to one another. It's good that we can show how much we love and how much love we have for people, babies. Yes, Nicole.
In a live, she is eating at home and stated what she had fixed for dinner. Okay. Maybe that's another one, because I don't hear her saying that here. I'm 8 minutes, 9 minutes in. There's no mention of food.
Because he is a happy baby. Oh my goodness. I've said it before.
Donations for what?
Light up a room. He smiled with his eyes.
Well, is this live her talking about what she cooked? Because I don't hear her talking about her cooking anything. And I'm 10 minutes in. For what? Who for the parents of YouTubers? Right. So let's go there since you all mentioned that, because this is a 10-minute video already. McCarter, what do you need a Cash App for? For what? It's the Queen talking to you. I'm not going to get in your inbox. Why do you need a Cash App if that's true? If it's not true, just disregard the question. Why do you need a Cash App? Now, if you already had a Cash App for your own self, then it is what it is. But please don't tell me you went and got a Cash App or using an existing Cash App for sympathy. Because that would be wrong. That would be really wrong. And what would also be interesting if she still keeps talking, talks to some YouTubers, Facebook groups, and gets a YouTube channel. How about that? Because a lot of people have metamorphosed a platform from a child missing, and we learned that with Summer Wells. People came out of the woodworks. You know, they were like flying rats, just coming out, making a YouTube channel because they saw somebody else talking about her. Well, I guess I'll talk about her too, and I'll start a channel. And it was the most interesting thing I had ever seen. A-Balance, thank you. Thank you so much. It was the most interesting thing I had ever seen in my life. All these people running around in the chat, talking, laughing, making jokes, crying, moaning, and the next thing you know, they're a YouTuber. And a lot of them were really in your chat, sucking up the information, uploading videos, and then come back to the chat and be like, hey, Big Ange, I got a channel. Oh, okay. And it's not to be a hater, but one would start to wonder, were you just in the chat to build up a following? And I think some of you have done that. And we ain't got to name no names, but a lot of you done that. You laid in people's chats, talked amongst the people in the chat. You went from channel to channel to channel in the chat, building up a following damn near as just a chat member. And then boom, we look up, got a YouTube channel. So one could be like, was that the motive all along? Oh, yeah, I know her. She be over on this channel. Yeah, she be talking. Yeah, she get on the panel. Yeah, we know her. And then boom, or him, boom, they're YouTuber. I can honestly say a lot of you are grand hustlers. And some of you may never been in the street before, but you know how to double juggle. Let's finish this.
His smile could light up a room. He smiled with his eyes. He, his laugh, you know, he would get them belly laughs and he would just laugh and it was just wonderful. But I guess I'm going to get off now. Just please let me know if y'all hear anything and know that I'm praying with y'all. We're all praying for baby Quentin. And
get off now.
I love you guys.
Shit, you been on here 10 fucking minutes.
Do it all behind the wheel of a capable.
It's going to be interesting if we find out this is more going on.
I love you guys. Have a good day. Good afternoon, my friends. I just wanted to make a video. I've been on live twice. I wanted to thank y'all all for the prayers for Quentin, for the nice things that you said to my family. And it's not about my family. It is about Quentin. And nobody wants attention about this. We want all the same thing.
Not a tricycle. God, y'all sick.
Justice.
Damn.
And if what the cops are saying is true, which I'm still holding out that he is okay. And maybe I'm naive or just not wanting to believe it. I get it, but I'm still praying and having faith.
Damn.
Okay. But either way.
Hold on, Bobo.
And I just thank y'all for like all the nice comments, everything that you've said. Not money or anything like that. Just the comments.
Hold on, Bobo. We're going uphill.
We really appreciate it, me and my family. Like I said, we're watching everything. I had said online.
You guys are killing me. Wait. I gotta make a joke. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He got Bobo on the back, hair blowing in the wind. Come on. Come on, Bobo. We gotta go up this mountain. Damn. They got some hills down there in Tennessee. Come on, Bobo. My hair is getting stuck together. Slow down. Please slow down. You're messing up my hair. My hair, it's static in there. I'm done. Y'all please stop. Oh, I can't. Oh, Jesus wept.
I had said on live that if any of y'all see anything, please let me know because y'all might see something before I do. Although I am watching.
Well, here, let me see. Let me go back.
See anything, please let having faith that he's okay. But either way, he's with God. And I just thank y'all for like all the nice comments, everything that you've sent.
Oh.
Not money or anything like that, just the comments, the love that you showed. We really appreciate it, me and my family. Like I said, we're watching everything. I had said on live that if any of y'all see anything.
Woo, before my 52nd birthday.
See something before I do. Although I am watching.
Get Queen getting old.
Quentin's got to be, if I go by what the news is saying, we want Quentin to be able to rest in peace and to get justice for Quentin. If we go by my heart saying he's still okay and he's going to be found. So, I've shared a lot of videos. When you feel really sad, go look at the videos of Quentin and the pictures.
Yeah, a cooking show. Exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And then
have a YouTube channel where she's cooking. Maybe she can call Mary out in Utah.
But looking at his face, looking at his smile, listening to his belly laugh, your heart will smile too. So, thank you all. I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. If I see or hear anything, I will be on to let you know. But yeah, thank you. God bless. Hello. So I haven't really feel like cooking.
Oh, that's where she's eating now at the end of this video. This is a 14-minute video.
I did cook tonight. I made chicken, macaroni and cheese, and green beans, which also.
So she was at home all that time? I thought she was in a restaurant. I couldn't tell. Because these are 3 clips in this video by Cinema Shogun.
I know everybody is not just.
And thank you, Mr. Shogun, for this video.
Praying to hear something.
Please stop.
Watching everything going on and just can't believe the things
God,
that
y'all
are
killing
going
me.
on when there's a child missing.
Cooking set.
And everybody seems to be living their best life.
Y'all are evil. Y'all can't never talk about the Queen.
But anyway, guys, yes, I'm eating.
So she's showing herself eating. Why? That's damn, man. Okay. If you hear anything, let me know. Have an amazing evening.
As amazing as it can be under the circumstances.
See, I thought she was in a restaurant at first. I kept hearing all that clinking in the background. But I noticed the background had brown. And then when you see this last clip, you can see she's got food and she's at home. So obviously the first video, maybe she was in her own kitchen, but I kept thinking she was in a public place. That's why I was saying, why would you go live in a public place? That's, if you're in the company of somebody else that may not, want to sit and watch you go live. Well, maybe she was not. Okay. What is eating Gilbert grapes? Don't start. Donna Wells on a tricycle with a bottle of R and what did you say? Spackle in the other hand. God, y'all are sick. Poor Mary, though. She got used by Chris M. I wonder how many people are still following her in her recipes. I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say she really got used by him. He's a tuber trying to make money, and this is what people do in the game. It's a game. All this is a game. Talking to people, sharing stories, trying to get them to speak, going to the scene of the crime, crying, moaning, getting a bullhorn, hollering. Everybody's got their method. But to get a YouTube channel to talk about stuff that don't have nothing to do with that kid missing, Summer Wells, it's a bad look. In my opinion, it's a bad look. But that leads me to think you really weren't genuine in bringing forth the information about Donna Wells. All right, Beth says she's getting on her nerves. Okay. That was by Cinema Shogun. That's a 14-minute video. I brought you a little bit of information pertaining to all these people. I think I've shown you everything that I wanted to show. I think that's it. I asked you all a day ago, will Ellie find baby Q in the landfill? 55, still at 55. 55% says yes. 14% says no. 31% is not sure. Let's see what the two comments are. Wicked Ways says 40% tie between yes and not sure. I'm not sure. And then Lum Queen says, I pray they do Queen 13 hours ago. I also asked you all a day ago, do you think Leilani has remorse, regrets for killing baby and disposing him in the trash? 8% of you says yes, you think she has remorse. Wow. 92% of you said no, and this is out of 99 votes. One comment. Lum Queen says absolutely not. So 92% of you says no, she doesn't have remorse. Oh, Carol, hopefully GA juries aren't as dumb as Florida ones when this tot mom goes on trial. I'm getting a headache. I need to eat. I haven't had dinner. Hell no, she's a sick bitch. Biatch. Out partying at the bar doesn't look like remorse to me. I want to know who that girl was that was tying up that string to the house when Leilani was in that white truck. Who's that girl? One of you all said that's her sister. Where is she and how old is she and where does she live? Damn, how many kids does this damn Billy Joe have? You're welcome, Gam. Yeah, I need to eat. I haven't eaten. I wanted to get this information out because I had so many stories to bring you all. A replay of this video is about Herschel Walker admitting that he gave the ex-girlfriend a check for $700, but didn't know it's for an abortion. I brought you information about Kanye, being sued by George Floyd's family for defamation of character, $250 million. I brought you a story out of Texas, 2 siblings, teens, severe case of abuse, malnourishment, starvation by the mother and boyfriend. The mother has a total of 7 children. I showed you pictures of the suspects, video of the children going around knocking at a door, trying to get help. Somebody finally lets them in after about 30 minutes of being out in the cold. They were apprehended in Louisiana, the mother and the boyfriend, and extradited allegedly back to Texas today. She's from Louisiana, and I believe she migrated to Texas because somebody was hot on her heels for abuse of her kids. 7 kids, 6 boys and 1 girl. 2 16-year-old twins that are a boy and a girl, and 2 twin boys that I believe are 12, and the rest are 10, 7, blah, 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 14. She's been a busy bee. Check out Chris Thorne's channel. He did a good live today pertaining to this dusty mutt. She's a baby maker, stink box. She's like a lot of these women. All they care about is fucking and screwing. Too lazy to get birth control. And the men, just as nasty. Providing the sperm to a bum bitch. So where are these baby daddies? Did you know your children were being abused? And I believe the 2 older children might be mentally disabled because I can't see children with their faculties not fighting back. I can't see, especially not a black child. It's not to be racist, but I can't see a black child laying in a house and not eating and letting their mother tie them up and abuse them. No. I would see them fighting her and possibly killing her. Just jacked up. This is terrible. 2 16-year-old children held hostage in a laundry room of a very nice home. They've only been in for a week and a half in Cypress, Texas. Very nice neighborhood. So I'd like to know where she got the money from, how she was able to afford this house. Why did she leave Louisiana? The fact she has so many boys. She's a boy maker. What a hell of a gene pool. Then I also brought you information about 2 black women getting in a fight in Oklahoma. Children fighting, arguing. Lady comes out to stop the fight and then later comes out and stabbed one of the daughters. No, she stabbed the daughter originally, comes back out, to stab the mother. And the mother later dies at the hospital. Ghetto ratchet. You see, you don't know what can happen when you confront people. Whether you think you're in the right or wrong. The reason why I brought you that story is because of how they're acting down there in Savannah, in Tybee Island. That running up to people and confronting them about he said, she said can cost you your life. Just saying. Can cost you your life. Hello, dear. Can cost you your life. And what you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? I know. I've been heated past couple days, fooling with nonsense that I've discussed with you all on this network. And eventually I confronted the mother. That's something I have not told you all. It took a lot on me. I wanted to beat that bitch down. I want to beat that bitch down. When you don't have regard for your own children, then you're making excuses for your children, how you rearing your children, and you think the queen is interested in what your psycho babble and talking in circles. I don't care. It took everything out of me. I said, you keep on, you're going to be a YouTube story. That's what I told myself. You will be a YouTube story. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can be exactly what you're talking about. And I don't want to be one of those people. So I have to keep my temperament down because I would hurt that woman. She doesn't know me. She don't know she's crossed the wrong one. She's a bum bitch too. Yes, I did call. I called CPS. And the thing about it is, she's condoning leaving them alone. I'll go ahead and tell you. Police got involved too the other night. Don't ask. my thing is, it's just, you realize people don't care about anything. They don't care about their kids. They don't care about anything. This bitch leaves her kids unattended all damn day long. State law says it's okay to leave children at the age of 12 and over alone, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The point is, when your bullshit affects the queen, I don't give a damn what the law says. That's all I'm saying. When you become a problem for me, I don't care what the law says, because you're not rearing your children properly. That's that. And I think that when you have children under a certain age, your ass need to work a 9 to 5. Not a 5 to 1. A 5 to 2. 11 to 7. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to be at home to see your children. Well, I think there's one a few years older than the 12-year-old. But the point is, the older one is having to pick up the slack for the 12-year-old because she's not doing the things she needs to do as far as, animal pickup and that type of stuff. And it ain't the queen job. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. Doesn't matter if your children appear to be mature, to be left alone when they're doing things to where it's causing problems with other neighbors or tenants, and that's a problem. So then that means they're not mature. That's your perception. You're going to say that because that's your child. Oh, my child's mature. My children are mature. But your children are mature when they're doing things that they should have been taught better to do. But you're leaving them alone, so you're not seeing the things that they're mishapping over. Try not to go into the details, but the point is, like I said, when you have children of a certain age, I think you should work a 9 to 5 if you can, because children need to be involved with their parents. You need to be taking your children places, even on nights that or days you work. You get off at 5, 4. Take your kids somewhere. Take them out to eat. Take them to the park. Take them to the zoo. Take them to the circus. Spend time with them. Engage with them. Engage with them. You need to engage with your kids, bottom line. Just leaving them alone for them to look at the cell phone and the Wi-Fi and the internet, that's not engaging your kids. I don't care what ages they are. They can't just keep looking at Pokemon and looking at TV series. They need to be involved in sports, music, arts, something. They need to be going somewhere after school, involved in school activities. And let me tell you something too. You don't need to be using your kids as fucking babysitters either. Let's say you got a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old. You think a 14-year-old wants to keep toting around a smaller kid all the fucking time and left alone with them all the time? They might want to go somewhere and do something with their friends. Oh, but they can't because they got to stay at home and keep their fucking younger siblings. That's going to get old. And that's how children become wayward, because they get tired of sitting in the house and not going anywhere. Now it's like somebody calls and says, hey, we're going to go do this tonight. There's a football game. This is football season. And if you are a preteen or teenager, you will want to go to some of your games at your school. Well, how are you going to be able to go when you got to stay at home and keep another kid or more kids? You ain't going to lug all those kids with you. Somebody else's car. Somebody says, well, I'll come pick you up. They're not expecting you to have other kids with you. You don't get to live. I know this bitch don't take her kids nowhere because she ain't never here. She's like, she ain't here now. I put money on it, she ain't here. They're by themselves and they're waiting for her to get home. So imagine sitting at home from the time you get off of school. You're not going anywhere. You're not engaging with anybody else but just your brother or sister, whoever lives in your fucking house. You ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody calling you to go nowhere. Hey, let's go to the mall. Hey, let's go to Walmart. Hey, my mom and dad are taking me shoe shopping. You want to go along? Or we're having spaghetti tonight. Ask your mom, can you come over? Well, no, I can't come over because my mom's at work and we're not supposed to leave the house or the neighborhood. And I got to watch my baby sister or brother. See, a lot of you think that's okay because you got to work. That's the job you chose. So your children got to suffer because of the job you chose. Well, first of all, you know, your children didn't ask to be here. And really, no, how's that their fault? They want a life just like you wanted a life when you was a kid. So give your kids better than what you had. Exemplary to what you had. I see all kind of crazy stuff. I'm 51. I've seen a lot. And talking about these stories on this network, especially what I brought you earlier about the two 16-year-old siblings, man, you can't get no worse. Because to me, that case is just as bad as the one out of Texas when the kids were living in the apartment with the dead brother in the room. He was in there 11 months. You know it stank to high heaven. And the neighbors said it smelled bad. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer all over again, except for the torture, you know, and the cannibalism. But imagine living in an apartment and your brother is dead in the next room, and your mama and her stinking ass boyfriend don't think there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You all right? Don't mind the maggots eating your brother up. Don't mind the flies. You all right? But throw a blanket on them. Damn, man, come on. I hear somebody saying something smart to me on this George Floyd video. What language are you speaking? Well, I'm going to send you a nice reply. I'm going to show you what language I'm speaking. Yes, you need a day job when you have school children. I'm going to say, the kind your mama taught me. How about that? You all know how I rock. Stay out of my way. I can't remember what I said. What I said about Kanye West. Somebody responded to, I guess, my comment about Kanye West. So what? I can't find what I said. Doesn't matter. Well, I'm not going to hold you all. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes. I was hoping somebody would like to join me, give their comment pertaining to these cases I brought to you today. This was Throwdown Thursday. Thursday Throwdown. However you want to word it, it doesn't matter. This was a combination of different wacky true crime stories that are just damn ridiculous. And at least 3 are pertaining to children: Baby Q, Megan Boswell, and those kids out of Texas. And then the other case with the 2 black women fighting, that was pertaining to children allegedly. It's just a mess. See, I'm going to say this before I leave. Nothing is going to ever change in this world if people don't have empathy. You're going to always have crime. You're going to always have people arguing. You're going to always have people bickering. You're going to always have people stabbing each other in the back. You're going to always have people fussing and fighting. You're going to always have these problems until you, me, have empathy. We may not agree. We may not think the same. We may change our mind. But the day you feel nothing inside, you are a lonely vessel, empty, you are in a world of trouble. You are that person that will walk over people, step over a dead man, go in a dead man's house, steal his shit out of his house while he's laying there dead. You're the person that sees somebody laying on the side of the interstate, flipped over in a car, and you don't say nothing, do nothing. You see two people fighting, arguing, a man beating, pulling on a woman, child, you wouldn't say nothing. Nothing. You see somebody abusing an elderly person, mentally challenged person, you wouldn't say nothing. Go in somebody's house, you see it's nasty, funky, whatever. Got kids in there, you wouldn't say nothing. That's why the world is the way it is. Because a lot of you just don't give a fuck. You are happy in your world, your bubble. So long as nobody's rattling your cage, you Gucci. You fine with everything going on. But the only time your ass will rear up is when it's pertaining to you or one of your damn siblings or one of your little chaps. Then now you got an attitude and you feel some type of damn way. Well, no, can't work like that, bruh, sis. Shouldn't be. Got to put the shoe on and then all of a sudden now you got feelings. Oh, about your own. But you don't care about Bubba or Pookie over there. Well, it ain't my problem. I don't know. Man, ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, didn't nobody tell you to go be Captain Save-A-Ho. But know that when something is sinister, all you got to do is make one phone call. I ain't told you to write a book. I ain't tell you to become best friends with the detective or the state's attorney. But say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Every story that I've brought to this network, I know a motherfucker saw something and said nothing. Because most of the stories I bring is about a dead person. And that's how I know nobody said anything. And this can't keep continuing. Law enforcement and the FBI are now looking for a Quentin Simon in a landfill. And the only thing we're hearing, besides these people digging for a child that's possibly not whole, is bullshit about his mama and grandmama hooping it up on the island. And I hear the island is nice because I saw an episode of one of my housewives and the girls went down to, I believe, Tybee Island. They were having a good damn time. Beautiful scenery. I believe it was I'm supposed to say Housewives or it was that Southern Charm. It was one of them. And it was, the view, everything was just gorgeous. The place they stayed. And that was the first thing that came to my mind when this story broke. I said, what? Them heathens down there in Tybee Island? Shut your mouth. What that Gator trash doing over there? See what I said? What is that Gator trash doing over there? Because they don't need to be over there. This is what I say. And this is for the little YouTubers that's been busy. All that time you spending chasing them around in circles and going live, why don't you take them motherfuckers over there to that landfill and drop them off? How about that? Spend all that YouTube money and GoFundMe money and Venmo and Cash App. Rent a little small van and put Leilani, Baby Daddy, Billy Joe, Papa, brother, cousin, whoever the hell else, Bubba Jane, put all their asses in a damn van and drive them over to that motherfucking landfill and drop their ass off. I'll pay for the gas. I'll pay for the gas. Just tell me where to send it. Where was Papa while they were hooping it up? Billy Joe giving out her telephone number. Billy Joe, what you about to do? Because I believe you a boy down there. I said it. I'm going into hour 3. Eyes cropped now. Billy Joe. Billy Joe, I believe you got some balls downtown. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? I believe you got something downtown. You walk around acting like a man? Or you want to be a man? As us Southerners say. We don't say man deep, deep south like Florida, Alabama. We say man. You want to be a man? We're going to treat you like a man. Hell, maybe Papa wears a dress. Shut up, Queen. Could it be Billy Joe the man and Papa the good? Maybe we're missing something here. Papa wearing the tutu. And Billy Joe wearing the boots. Shut your mouth. Was Papa on this venture at the Motel Hotel Holiday Inn? You know how that song goes. If your girl start acting up, then you take your friend. Is that where the biker comes in at? Shut up, Anya. Damn. We had a biker, a wife, a baby. What the hell y'all got going on down there? Sodom, Gomorrah, and the Howe family. That's a part of the Bible you ain't heard yet. What's that scripture, Anya? Tell you later. To be continued. Donna, what you hollering about down there? It's possible that she married a man that already had children. I don't know. Who you speaking of? Papa got children? Well, let's pray that Papa don't got no biological grandchildren. Because we see how you played a role with Baby Q and his siblings. So God forbid, Papa got his own children that's got children. What kind of Papa are you to them? And you will sit idly by watching your children beat their children. Damn. There will be another Baby Q. There will be another Taylor Rose, Summer Wells, Cal City, so on and so forth. So long as you have empty vessels, you will continue to have these circumstances. And people sitting way back there watching and not saying anything. And DH workers, some caring, not caring, allowing the people to get the children back, retrieve the children back, and or taking the children. Johnny on the spot. Each case is different. And that's the sad part of the story. Is that each case is different. I want to thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeGanji 129 Cash App. Thank you for the super chats and stickers. God bless all of you. I told you this would be a winded live because I had a lot of information to bring you per story. It's about 5 or 6 stories intertwined. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this live to get the said information with a source. I did show some commentary, videos, pictures of suspects, and so on and so forth during this live. Most of these stories are posted to my community page if you need verification. Prayers for the siblings who are now in the state's custody alongside their other siblings, because I'm assuming 5 are in the state's custody in Louisiana, and 2, the older children who this story was mainly about, they are in the custody in Texas. I do not know if these children were able to be reunited because you're talking about 7 children, and I don't know anybody that's going to take in 7 children. Not saying that there's not nobody that would, but that's a humongous feat to take in that many children. And then you're talking about now 2 separate DHS agencies. Try to find out if the state of Georgia is paying for Billy Joel and Leilani's lodging. I don't know. But I don't see the state paying for somebody's lodging if they are a criminal suspect. The state ain't going to do that. The state is not getting ready to pay for somebody they're getting ready to prosecute. No. Hell no. Three hours. Yeah, where is Papa? Yes, 2 other twins younger than the 16-year-olds. I can't remember if they were 14 or 12, one of them. You have to go back to my live where I reveal their ages. 7, 10, 14, 12, something like that. She was busy. The stinking bat was busy. All she knew was sex. It takes Chris Thorne's. You got to go to Chris Thorne's channel. He did a live earlier. He put that heifer in her place when he's talked about her nasty tail. Because that's all she is a walking tuna box. That's a nasty black woman. You got all these damn babies, probably God knows how many different baby daddies, and you sit up here abusing your children and tying them up and handcuffing them and beating them and burning them. And man, that black girl needs her ass beat. She needs her ass beat. That 27-year-old boyfriend, he needs his ass beat too. And the fact that he want to be involved with a 40-year-old woman means he's looking for a mama, a sugar mama. And I'd like to know where the hell these two met. Date site, Facebook, what? TikTok, IG. I won't doubt that she's into some illegal activity. She's possibly selling drugs, narcotics, defrauding for her to be able to move into that house. Now, she may have moved on a voucher, transferred a voucher from Louisiana to Texas, but it will probably be a rare instance that somebody would rent their fine home to her and not knowing who she is. And if they did a background check to show that she lived in Louisiana, that would have came up that she's been arrested for child abuse. So I can't see somebody renting her house to her unless they didn't do a background check themselves. Because most apartment complexes do background checks and they check your other housing and other landlords. So if this was a personal owner of this nice house, perhaps he or she didn't do a background check. Somebody in the chat thinks maybe she rented the house with a voucher. I don't know, because that has not been mentioned. But all I can say is imagine if indeed this is true, that somebody rented her a house. You know, they had the house and just wanted to rent it out. Imagine now knowing you just rented your house out to this black bitch and she's been abusing her damn children from state to state and possibly ran from Louisiana up here, dodging child abuse allegations down there. Could have been already arrested and just came on the run up here, up to Texas. Juniper says the house is $500,000 plus. Yes, that's a nice house. I told everybody that's a miniature mansion. Those houses, those did not look like no cheap $200,000 house. And I'm not trying to knock a $200,000 house. What I'm trying to say is, even in my mind, $200,000 is nice. So I'm looking at the house like, nah, these look kind of new. Now, this ain't no $200,000 house. This house is like it costs more than that. That's just a figure I put up in my head. So somebody in the chat is saying 500,000 plus. So tell me how this dusty bat can afford a 500,000 plus house. $5,000 a month. Did she come into some money? Lawsuit. Could be she came into some money with a lawsuit. She could have actually bought the house. We can't ever say that because people abuse children that they don't have the fortitude to have a degree or get an upper income bracket, get upper income some type of way. There are many people who are nasty beings and they know how to go to school and get an education. Sweet Jesus, this is bad. I want to know how that bitch can afford that house. That's all I want to know. I want to know when she met that boy, how long she been dating that boy. I want to know how many baby daddies she got. I want to know where the rest of the relatives that knew her, where the baby daddy relatives, and I want to know how the fuck she got that damn house. Because she got that house some kind of way. And this ain't no okie dokie house. You will see the picture of the house in my live. This ain't no cheap house. So either this hooker got some type of education. I've been using improper English during this live. She got some type of education. And boom. She got this house. Hold on a second. I had to check something out. I was hearing some stuff. What the hell's going on? I'm out of here. Honey, it's been my medication time. It's called Vittles. Queen need to eat. See, I'm eating too late. I'm off schedule. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please check out the content in this video, the several videos. This was a Thursday Throwdown. Thank you for patronizing new subscribers. Welcome. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments on my community page. I thank you all so much for following the content. I'll leave the comments open on this one. And I know some of you wondering about that. Don't even worry about it. Thank you, Esley. Thank you so much. Thank you, Labama. Thank you. Thank you, Juniper, Auntie. Thank you all, Donna. Thank you all so much for stopping by. AB was in here briefly. He's possibly going live because he know he be keeping up with these shenanigans, especially this gator trash here. Hey, I hear that Donna Wells will be getting out at the end of the month. I posted that to my community board. Mr. Matt, he's a YouTuber, called the jail to see when Donna Wells will be getting out. The guy said the end of the month. So we will see. And as I've said on my community page, you'll know when Donna Wells is free because he'll be on YouTube running that damn mouth, that pie hole. That's how you know when he's out. He'll be back. He'll be back on the wire because he will have so much to tell us about his brief incarceration. We're going to hear how the food was, how the guards treated him, how lumpy his mattress was. He didn't have enough covers in there. He wasn't able to drink. He wasn't able to smoke. Who called, who wrote, who visit, no visits. We're going to hear all of that. We're going to hear all the bullshit that happened in the lunchroom, Hawkins County Jail. And ask me, do I give a fuck? I don't. I'm out of here. Love you.